bonus ticket in the video game. Like we leveled up to where like you can get extra lives just with the old penicillin. So pretty wild to think about like the ramifications of just an item like that has had on society and letting us live longer to then put more shit together and invent more, and yeah, crazy.
Solid.
I'm going to jump off the stage, but I got Unlonely, Twitch, and YouTube, and all the other stuff up. But so you're good to go, sir.
Sweet. I'm gonna invite Loro up. See if he's all settled and square. And Felons, nice to have you here. It's always good to have you. And maybe you'll even set the stage for us with a tune while people are sort of filing in. I think I shared. Yeah, I shared a couple of tweets in the live chat, and I tagged up a kind of host of just OGs and stuff that I thought would be cool if they happen to see that and pop in. People that would be, I think, interested in what Laura's doing, and obviously people that have been around and know some of the stuff he's done in the past. But yeah, maybe just a tune to get us sort of going, and then we'll jump into some good combo.
Sure thing, man. Yeah, I saw the note, so I kind of grab the guitar. How do I sound? You got some?
Sounds great.
There it is.
Yo.
Yo.
Yeah, how's it going, Laura?
Let's go. What's good? I want to hear this.
All right, well, let's start with turning another page.
woo. Turning the page.
Hell yeah.
The show is yours, man. Thanks for letting me play it in.
Thank you, good sir. And shout outs to anybody out there, possibly watching on Unlonely or over on the Twitter X platform. Feel free to jump over into the Token Smart Discord if you want to, throw some memes around and just get in a little deeper on the conversation. But yeah, dude, stoked to be here with you. Been too long, and I know you've been working on this. For quite a while. I mean, we've been kicking around ideas for like 3 years. For anybody that, doesn't necessarily know, Lorenzo Masna, just epic graffiti artist, been in Web3 for years. We've had some pretty exciting adventures from Colombia, Mexico, New York, Miami, El Salvador, all over, you name it. Shout out Kita Crypto crew. And yeah, just stoked to be here with you and catch up and get to hear a bit about the project that you're like about to launch. So how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's good to see you. It's good to know that you're good, that you're better. I know you've been going through it, and
Yeah.
um, I think of Easy's Corner, and I'm super happy to be here. Of you doing it in El Salvador in the middle of the beach. I have a picture. I was gonna post it.
Nice, nice.
Beach, middle of nowhere. We're all in the beach, and you're there rapping in the metaverse, in the middle
Else,
of the
yeah.
beach.
Yeah, nah,
Good
I
memory.
remember that. Like we finally got like out to the beach after all the mayhem and fun in the city. But yeah, there's been, man, I've posted up easy corners and easy streets from a lot of different cities and countries. So it's nice to do it, here from the comfort of a seat. But I'll go live anyway. Oh shit, I think I lost your audio.
Yeah.
Okay,
Am
you're
I
back. That might have just been my internet slipping for a minute. You're good.
good? Good. Good. So yeah, man. I've been so as you know, and then maybe some of you don't. The few people that are in the crowd, and is that I've been my joining the NFT space was kind of doing graffiti of punks, and then it evolved into doing graffiti of other PFP collections. But what that has been in the inside is me studying how these people work, who these people are, what happens, how
Well, before you jump into it, give a little, in case for people either watching that don't know much about it or are totally fresh to you, or people that go back and are watching after the fact. Give us a little rundown, kind of on the wall, in the bricks, and kind of that project, and then I think they'll have a better understanding of how you're working with all these different projects and people, and have these different connections to different types of PFP, all sorts of projects. But to kind of like, you've been like, I think being able to work with so many different projects and people, being able to like infuse so much different information about like what different projects do with certain traits, and like there's so many different ways to approach it. So having like worked with people from lots of different projects has probably been really valuable in coming up with how you're approaching your own drop with all the variabilities and stuff. But let's just a little background kind of on the wall for people, just to get that into their psyche before going deep.
understand. So 21, it was the first Ape Fest and like NYC NFT, and it was like this kind of big moment when the bull run was happening. And I had this wall in New York that I had gotten the permission for, and I had the idea to do a big jam of like a PFP jam wall. So it's like I was looking at text the other day, and I'm texting people, I'm gonna do the first PFP graffiti jam wall. It'll be great, and people are like, cool. Oh, I'm not liquid anymore. Yeah, nice one. Like, but it was an idea, and I kind of in my mind it was really clear, but I knew it was gonna take a lot of time, and I started. I had to decide how to sell spaces on the wall, right? Like a collection. you and me talked about this through our trips and tried to figure it out, and it was kind of we talked about the concept, and you had to tokenize it and all these things, but in New York in front of the brick wall, I kind of thought, shit, it's bricks. I gotta make bricks. They're all just gotta be bricks. And then I had the idea of gold bricks and silver bricks, and that developed into how you could tier the wall, and people would buy bricks and be part of the wall. So there started with a punk and an ape and a goat, and then hash masks, and it just kind of started evolving, and it became really popular. I think within 24 hours, somebody drove by and did a 3 second, a 7 second Maxilla, actually not somebody, but Maxilla was a homie, and she did a 5 second video, and people were just, what's happening? The metaverse is IRL. They're gentrifying graffiti. All these thousand comments next morning, and it was just kind of like, wow, we did
It
something
pops,
powerful.
yeah.
And from then on, it's been 2 years of. I went to Europe. I got the chance to meet a lot of like the European core of the NFT space, and that just opened up a whole world to me. New world of collectors and a new way of looking at the space, because it was very like celebrity driven at the space at the moment here,
Right.
and it's not when I met you, it wasn't like that. So me and just to give a little like context, me and Easy met at Bitcoin 2021 at Miami at the conference. And throughout that year is kind of when everything exploded, everything became that bull run that everybody knows. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's where the work I did during that time and during the whole bear market. Marlon paid me a whole ETH was $800 to do a piece, and we
Shout
put
out
up a
Knifey for
MF.
Lifey. Shout out Marlon Cruz hanging in the audience
After
right
there,
now.
we put
Yeah, yeah. I think he
Sartoki,
put a
and then
hand. Fuck yeah.
nobody had
Um,
put no, nobody had put an MFer, and he put an MFer in the same way. The girl, nobody put a moonbird, and this girl's like, oh my god, I need my moonbird, and people just started. So I've met the type of people behind the collections, the way they grow, the way, it was weird. But the moonbirds, I was in a chat with Kevin Rowe and everybody, and it was kind of like I was trying to sell them the idea that a gigantic moonbird would make an impact. And they were like, yeah, 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 it's cool, but we don't have money for that. And they were selling for 20 ETH at the moment.
dude.
And then, and then you get some whale punks that just do it and do it out of the love of the space, and they love
Yeah.
their gigantic punk up. It's
Well,
a
and
difference, and it's a good.
from the beginning and when we met and just hit it off, like the concept of the kind of ethereal realm of street arts and graffiti and the permanence of blockchain it's such an interesting mix. And then the way that the way you kind of figured out finding how to do the wall, really do it right with like the tiers, you get the different brick that allots your space and size on the wall and stuff, was just super innovative, I think. And it was something that, yeah, really brought like the metaverse to the IRL. And like you have that really dope like 3D scan you can go into and check it out. Maybe if you want to drop the link in the chat or shoot me the link to that in DMs, I'll share that too, because people should have that to be able to go pop in and check it out. But yeah, you've done a lot of like groundbreaking stuff, and then also just for the the culture of like street arts and graffiti and Web3 and the metaverse, like Kita Crypto was huge for onboarding a lot of peeps down in Colombia, across in Mexico and El Salvador, here in the States. So you've definitely been, I think, a pioneer at the forefront of bringing graffiti to Web3 and bringing Web3 to graffiti and street arts in the wider general sense too, of just whether it's music, skating, graffiti, fashion, like all that kind of culture that I think blends so well with like the Web3 ethos, the hip hop ethos, the graffiti ethos. These things are a lot about like your self sovereignty and freedom of expression and stuff. So I think I've just always applauded where you're trying to take this, and it's exciting that you're putting together all these pieces and coming up with this drop.
Yeah, I think it has to do with all that. It's pretty cool because we've been able to do our job, and like not on the mainstream, not in the circle, but like everybody doing it, like the way in those 2 years that have happened. It's been good to, that bear market has been cool to really work it and figure it out. And while I was doing these murals, I wanted to make my own version of what was happening in the space, right? Because I always wanted to, I want to like the the same way I got the bricks was just trying to be part of the movement and trying to the same way I met you in Kinshasa was wow, these are like the kind of people that are doing similar to me in the space, which is so hard to meet when you're not in the chats and you don't go the route of these kind of spaces. But what I think it keeps it is that it keeps it really real. So the way the mural has developed, 5 people that believed in me, then it got a little famous, then 12 people, and then next year 24 people, and then we had 70 people, and then we painted like 100 characters in a summer, and it's kind of
Yeah.
there's 170 characters I've counted or something like that. It's
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Nice.
Or 50, maybe I'm misquoting myself, but it's
Well,
a
you've
number
had
around there.
you've had smaller walls and stuff in other cities and countries too. Like it's not just the New York wall. That's kind of the flagship.
The exercise of crypto, Bitcoin, all these things, better than me, but it like that it has to come from zero, right? It has to come at like, oh, that it costs $200. Yeah, I was doing the graffitis for $500. It costs $200 for a hotel night in New York, $200 for the paint. So I wasn't making any money,
Yeah, yeah,
and then that wasn't what it was about. It's about wow, these graffitis of these metaverse images or like these digital assets in the street. It's kind of like ridiculous how obvious it is. It's like, yeah,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot of
But
value in it.
to make it come together, it wasn't like yeah, doing something is obvious, but then how do you do the something? That's the part that wasn't obvious at all. I mean, we had so many calls, just kind of bounced around different ideas of ways to maybe do it, and then that being a whole sort of like you're saying that wasn't necessarily like to earn your living. That's more just part of you and the culture, and yeah, great to like get some funds and keep it going, but also to be able to build something else where you'd be able to have other type of service or product or offering or drop. And so I know that you've been investing a lot of time and probably funds too into getting everything going for this drop that you've been working on.
It was kind of like if I want to join the space that I did or like people that have no idea, it's like my work gets confused with all these other things that have nothing to do with my personal work that I've been working on forever. So it's really exciting to share that work, blockchain to experiment. Like telling me in Bueno, which is where I generated, like yeah, it said like you've generated a million tokens in the last 10 minutes. You need to stop. Like because I just kept generating. No, generate. And it's so fun to fucking play with that. I could have
Yeah,
stayed there
yeah,
for another 20 minutes.
awesome.
And but so that to me that was the thing. It was like, no, I want to do it like the big, if Cool Cats did it and all these other people have done it, and why can't I do it if I'm an
Right.
artist and I draw and I have time and I've been blessed with like working here and being able to to just have a like a career in this space, which
It's
obviously changed my life in a big way.
Yeah, I think it's just for probably for most people, it's just too much. It's daunting. There's so many little different things you got to consider, and so much goes into it. And unless you're some like crazy dev and an artist, and like you got to have a team, and like so it's so much to pull together. Even if you like have a great idea, that I think yeah, just most people just can't have the stick to itiveness and kind of the mental fortitude or resources to be able to pull something off. So I think it's pretty far and few between when somebody like yourself, you know, an artist is even able to get all the pieces together. So yeah. Oh, hey, good. Jose's here too. Um, we're talking about Web3 stuff. Well, now let's maybe jump into it. You know, we've had a little background. Let's dig into what you're working on. You know, just wherever you want to start with. Let's fucking jump in. Oh yeah.
It's I started like we said in 2021. I was like, fuck, I want to make something kind of historic, but like PFP-ish, PFPs. But I love collage, and I've been collecting magazines all my life. That's been my work before. Just I'd go to Mexico when I was 18 and buy magazines on the Sunday market, and I still have them. So some of them, this one magazine was the interview published by Warhol
Mhm.
in 1985, which is the year I'm born. In like exactly the month.
Crazy. That's
It
dope.
was all these celebrities really young. So how do I capture and make all this into art and stuff? So I just collected and collected his faces, and I just wanted to do the same formula with my own language. So do graffiti too, incorporate some graffiti elements into it. So there's like arrows and outlines and just very subtle things, not so subtle. The idea is that like it's a subtle mix between collage and graffiti mixed with the blockchain, and I did it with the algorithm, which is like, as you said, for a graffiti artist to be walking around the streets all the time, sitting down looking at Excel sheets and code and all this stuff. It's like it doesn't. I never thought that there would be a way I could understand it, but after 2.5 years of finding a way, the way came together somehow, right? Without me
Oh,
even figuring out. And it's actually, it's I gotta shout out Heyman, but it's like it's the evolution of people that are really passionate about the no code, and so that us artists don't
yeah,
have to worry about it. And like for
dude.
me, and minting in OpenSea was a shit house before, but that's all we had. And then Manifold was the next step for me, and I was able to do the burn tokens, do all this with the no code. Now with them, I think it's like a $2,000 subscription or something, but you get access to like all this no code stuff that as an artist it solves everything. You don't need the coder.
That's huge.
They'll help, and you can learn how to IFPS the images and like a couple things, but get the fear out, and then be able to have somebody and what's wrong with this CSV, why is not, and then all right, it's just this, it didn't have a capital letter here, boom, the whole world changed. But as an artist, you get there, you're
Yeah,
never gonna move past it. So it's 600 plus traits,
damn. So
and
and I don't think anybody, to my knowledge, has done like a collage graffiti esque collection or PFP. I mean, I definitely know some artists that incorporate collage in their work and stuff. Um, but yeah, this, I think it's a really interesting like combination. And you know, I think just if people you know, can hear about it and see it, I think people will be pretty intrigued by it. But yeah, please do carry on. So how did you wind up you know, settling on some of these 600 traits?
600 out of like 700. Like I erased a lot of work that I was ready to launch it 2022, and the market just dropped. Didn't make sense, and then I wanted to launch it 2023, and I was just busy, so I couldn't. I was just making murals all over the place. A year ago, I was doing the 6 year anniversary Punks in Paris, like six punks in a Paris hip hop show at Fête de la Musique. So I've been just doing, once, if it was such a hard market that any kind of work I couldn't get. fancy with, oh, I'm
Yeah.
making art. It's work, work. Um, but then now the time came where I worked my ass off. ETH went up a little bit to do this, and then I've been basically since January just working on it. I erased a lot of them. There's 20 main characters, 600 traits, and there's some that really go together perfectly, and then there's like others that are just an explosion of like the noses over
Outliers.
here, the eyes.
Nice. Yeah.
Huh?
Um, like
Which
those outliers that are just like, yeah, get super crazy. Um, so you wanna, what are like a couple of the characters that people could get if they roll the dice?
so basically there's a girl with like purple hair. Her name is Purple Haze. And there's another guy that it's like open source. It's got like an open source collage in the face. And there's an alien and a punk, an alien and a zombie. The zombie is Mao. So you might have like Mao with like red sunglasses and a Dali mustache and like a clown nose. It's just
Oh,
printed. Everything is from printed matters. So there's not really stuff that's like Miley Cyrus, or it is not modern pop culture. It's like more vintage pop culture because
nice.
everything comes from different time and era. So it's like Sophie Loren and like Lady Diana and Snoop. There's some early Snoop. There's uh, yeah, it's just a mix of. It's really crazy when you get like a
Dude,
Snoop with a Lady D eyes with the nose of, you know. It's just kind of bananas.
super cool actually to have some different like cultural references going into you know the generative PFP like instead of having you know a little like twirly pin hat and the 3D glasses and the cigarette and like there's basically you know 90% of the assets are the same across most PFP projects, right? You've got like, you know, just a certain set of kind of these little digital, you know, the couple of different glasses, the, you know, cowboy hat, or the, you know, the couple of different hats, couple of different, you know, whether it's a zombie skin tone or an alien or a human or an ape, like you know, so you're bringing in some of that, some of the kind of culture that, you know, we've been brewing in, but you're bringing a lot of like you know like you were saying kind of more vintage culture and references into it, which I think is really interesting.
Well, and there is that, but I also have like the cigarette and the beanie, and they're all
Right,
there, but
right.
they're from
But
collage. There's a lot of them. There's some references that are like important in there, but they're the you know, the printed version. So that's pretty fun.
yeah, yeah, super innovative. Like how do you innovate on like you know and I mean I am a sucker for like you got 3D glasses and like a cowboy hat that I can possibly get, I'm gonna like re-roll all night until I have those, you know, on my guy and mint it. So like, I'm not putting those things down at all in any way. It's just that like it can get a little stale. So I think breathing some life into it by using kind of like, yeah, like magazine 2D cutout art of these representations is something that is cool and fresh in like a pretty unique way.
And then another part that I studied is kind of that what drives all these people together is kind of how me and you met, like in a huge conference with 10,000 people. I don't know how many thousand people. It with like-minded people.
Yep.
So the Nosphere tribe is like a tribe of where we meet with our thinking. We don't realize we don't touch, but we have that similar space, that common space that is kind of it's intuition or something. But it's so I wanted to explore that all my life. I always been wanting to explore the Nosphere. Like I'm like, fuck, this is such a cool concept. I love it. And I had the idea of the Nosphere tribe, TNT, from bricks to TNT. It's kind of like you build and then you destroy, and like all these kind of conceptual things happen.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that was super. I was like, wow, I'm making this. Wow, TNT. Wow, what am I? And it's because I've really been building on not that it's a lion or that it's an ape or that it's a blah, but that like what's behind it? What's this art? Because it's art at the end of the day. I didn't hire anybody at Fiverr. I broke my ass for it, like. So that's the whole thing of it, and it's like so a lot of imperfections in it that I think are pretty. We're gonna see if those become rarities or if those become
Right.
the dumps, or I don't know. Like if that becomes the the cancellation of the whole thing. I don't know.
No, it's cool. Sometimes those like, you have some trait that isn't the perfect fit, and there's only a few of them, and those can wind up, being the ones that are the most valuable. You just never know.
Yeah. Or like I
Do
already saw one
you
mistake, right?
do you
Yeah.
do you have anything that you want to maybe like screen share and show? Any little like if there's a couple like trait variations, or if you have anything up like that that you might want to bring up a screen and show, you could also do that.
My desktop. But this would be classified information.
Nice.
I can show a couple.
Get the alpha drip.
So you see here, so I share my screen. I can't share the screen shit. Can you tell me
So
to share it?
you're on mobile or
I'm in the
you should just be able to hit I'm on
Yep.
mobile. Oh, wait, is it because our cameras are on? Yeah, I think we got to turn off our cameras, I think, for screen share.
Okay. I got it.
There
So
you go.
here it is. So
Dope.
this is number 14.
Ooh, dude, these are styly.
So it's like very Andy Warhol inspired also,
Yeah.
This
Nice.
is code.
Ooh.
They're kind of like in a flat background, like the punks or the apes or whatever. This is a
I'm a,
very
I'm
rare
in
one, which is like
I'm gonna need to try and get a cowboy hat for sure. Yeah, this is
the
dope.
cowboy
It's
hats.
really cool how,
So this
yeah,
is
like
an alien.
nice.
This is an alien with the blue bandana and the VR shades.
Dude, these are epic.
And
Bringing
there's
the
a
art,
beanie.
into PFPs again. I like it.
Purple cap, the clown nose. This is like, for example, this is one that's like not the background, but the face. It's a piece of stone, and
Oh,
it's
tricky.
you can see elements of graph like the little lines and stuff. But that's a piece of the Berlin Wall. But this has a penguin in it. So see, I wasn't gonna do like a pudgy penguin, but it's pretty pudgy.
Right.
I'm joking.
Nice.
So that's this is so that's the same VR shades but different. This is a very this is like
Dope.
probably
Dude,
super rare.
dude,
This has
that is a freaking epic just mix right there. Like that's really, really working nice, dude.
that's the God Save the Tribe background. God Save the Queen.
Yeah,
But it's I think there's only like 20 of these or 30 of these with that background, like those are like
right.
art pieces, like I really
Yeah,
curated them.
yeah.
It's a brick background. This is another code background. This is a radar. You see, so that's the open source.
Nice, nice.
So yeah,
Dude,
that's the
these are
purple haze.
styly. We need to get I think a lot of the I would think you'd get a nice big support, but from like, trash art community and stuff too. I think this would be up the alley of the homies over there. These are awesome. Yeah, way,
This
just
is see the hand, the
yeah.
hand saying good.
Oh, I
It's
love it.
OJ Simpson after the trial. He's like,
Oh,
Like, it's
dude,
all
that's
good.
classic. Dude, there's so many little things like there's so much culture behind even just a small reference like that. You having OJ's all good thumb, like so
Yeah.
there's it's so much deeper than just creating a digital version of a, like peace sign or thumbs up or like it's I God, we got to just get the word out on this because I think if people find out, you should have I think a wide array of people supporting this.
Excited, man. I think I've like you've seen,
Nice,
I've put a ton of. This is super rare. This is like a ape.
dude. Shit, bro. That's a sweet piece. Damn.
That's a rare one. But yeah, so that's. Oh, this is super. The New York City background. It's like a
So
trash. This is for the trash. This is actually for the trash, kind of like a odd to the trash movement.
yeah, yeah.
Because it's a
Dude, we
New
gotta
York
get
City
like
trash.
Empress and Rob Ness and some of the trash
You
peeps
know,
over there. Get Stella Bell and
yeah,
some of the clip arts people. They'd love this. Angie Taylor. I'm sure she'd be super down. Um, uh, yeah, there's people that are popping into mind more seeing the art too that like get some
yeah,
spaces
no, for
going and
sure.
get
I
some of
mean,
these people together.
I'm convinced it has to be natural. Like I'm gonna open up the preset. So this is the game.
Oh yeah, let's
Game.
get to
I'll
the
stop
deets.
sharing
Let's
from.
get to the details.
The game plan is that yeah, presale opens tomorrow and it's 0.0199 for presale.
Point
So
oh
it's like
0.019, so almost 0.02, which is like shit, what
point oh 0.02 with their fee. But yeah, 0.02.
right. Nice. That's yeah,
Um
I think that's a very decent range, especially for something that is like really really deeply artistic. This is not a bunch of AI generated things from like random like everybody's work. It's not just a bunch of like even that takes a lot of time just to re-roll and re-roll and re-roll and get like the AI to make your shit the way you kind of want it and then put all that together. So even I'm not saying necessarily using those tools is bad, but this is like freaking like you said from like your childhood on collecting like magazines and shit, keeping them for all those years, clipping and all this, and then scanning and making it all work and put together like that. This has been years in the making, and I'm extremely stoked on the turnout. I know I had seen a few little teasers and some calls, but this is looking really great.
love to hear opinion, but or if anybody has one, but from marketing, I don't, I want to, the space is big enough that if the art can speak for itself, like the Brooks did, it should, right? And if it takes time, then it takes the time it does, But I'm waiting for. I want Robness to see it and Empress to be like, "What the fuck? Oh, look at the little glitch! Ah, look at the," and them to like
Yeah,
discover it
yeah.
and enjoy it. Then to be like, "Hey, can you guys support me? Oh, I'm launching this."
Nah,
I think that's like a and that's it's just I feel like there's like an OG approach. Like I feel like there's like the right approach and the wrong approach. And I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
if
I
I'm
feel you.
right, but I feel marketing and blowing it up is kind of the wrong approach. And just letting people
Yeah,
naturally get in is
I don't think you need like a big marketing strategy or anything like that. I like the approach that you take and have taken and are taking with this of the organic growth and like yeah, I mean pre-sales tomorrow starting, that's dope. And yeah, like letting it kind of kick around a little, kind of underground. But then once as soon as you get that spark and people are like, "Yo, what the fuck, dude? This like, how come I didn't hear about this yet?" And that's like coming from like whatever Empress or Rob Ness or whoever, then that's when we got to be like, well, shit, yeah, I dropped it like, a couple weeks ago, and it's, help making a little bit of sales here and there. I just haven't been like pumping it much. That's when we make a space with some of those people in it, try and kind of
For
pump it
sure.
again.
And I mean, because a lot of some of the people, and then you get what kind of people, they're like, what's the utility? And it's like those are the people that are like in the other side, people that ask me that. But I have a really cool plans for the whole thing, but I don't want to say anything, and I don't feel like I'm in the, because I just want the magic of like it developing. But I have really cool shit planned out for the people that like hold the
Yeah.
tokens
That's
regarding
and
like art show. Like if I have a lot of art shows lined up, like I've been 2 years traveling. I've met galleries all over the world with a really good name.
yep.
They're opening doors. Like I have like a lot of open doors right now to show this work. And the idea, just to throw it out there, which it's that's kind of how things get done. But it's like we're here, and I have a show in France, and then okay, which there's 7 pieces here. Let's pick the pieces that each one of you collected, and then I paint those pieces. We put them in the art show, or we pick one. We make prints. You get
Nice.
prints because you own the piece.
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
where like that is like real art. You get real
dude.
prints. Oh, you printed 80 of those, and you got 20 because you're easy, and you had the cowboy guy one, and that's you. And you
That's
were in the Discord early. That's the kind of vibe.
that's all you got to say when people start talking about, oh, well, what's the utility? You can be like, look, exactly what you said. I've got great ideas, and I'm not going to like pin myself down to specific items right now. But for anybody that for anybody that knows you or has followed your work, that's going to be good enough. And if it's good enough for those people that are actual real collectors and shit, then the other people can either follow along or not. But yeah, I 100% agree that the art for it should speak for itself, and then also knowing all the connections that you have and work that you've done, that yeah, there could be some really cool shit, like you get like yours up on a wall in frickin' Paris or something because you won the draw in the Discord and you're a holder, and so yeah, you're one of the 7 pieces that's going up, and exactly the stuff you're talking about, getting prints because it went into the gallery show and sold, or any and all of that stuff is super dope, and I think that's plenty for people to digest and be like, okay, so there's something.
It connects. Sorry to cut you, but I hope it connects people, with the mind. Like it's like the way that we've connected with Marlon, with the homies, with Louis. I've seen Louis. I like his raps. I follow him. I see it the same way that we've connected. I hope it's that connection. That's on the conceptual, because I see the power of that. I see the way the punks fucking hang out and travel over the world and meet each other, and that's like
Yep.
to look at, right? And it's 7 years down. So I know that 7 years down, this shit could be powerful in the sense that it could be a lot more than money and this and that. Like, it could just be, it's interesting to see because this is, said it in an interview the other day, but by making the 10K, so many of those, and that's what you did as an artist. You don't get to do that till the day you die because you're always producing. You could make a yellow one tomorrow. That's it. There's 2 yellow ones now. But when you do the 10K collection, that's like closes that.
Yeah.
And I've been really careful to not ever drop. I mean, you own the first piece that I made, which is the animation on Maker's Place. Then I did the bricks, and after that, I've never wanted to have liquidity, free mint, so all that. Like I haven't tried to drop any work just to drop it.
Yeah.
I've been working really hard on this collection, and I think this will be my work in the space. And with this
Yep.
collection, it will catapult me to do art shows all over the world. And the brand name, what I was thinking of a second ago, is the brand Mazna also builds that all this crypto kind of gives back to the community, right? So
Totally.
I've done murals in El Salvador and in Medellin and in all these places, and I buy people. I always give people. I've always give people at least $1,000 for like things in their house where I paint their murals. So as I do that, and I think that's what makes people more proud and more. Oh, I paid $100 for this or $70, but actually, I'm part of this thing that they're not. They're giving water to the. But wow, wherever he goes, he's always willing to like find a place and give a little back to that community because I can't pick one community and donate. But if I'm always traveling, I can
Yeah,
always
yeah.
find different.
No, I think that the like the positive, social impact part is important, and it's been part of the journey from the start. Like with Kita Crypto and everything, and so and again the same thing with like people, if it's like, oh, what's the utility, or in this case it'd be oh, what's the like foundation? No, there's no like, we're not giving percentages of profits to some foundation to go spend it on advertising. Just making a difference on the ground through onboarding educated, and like you said, sometimes providing, like, you're like, oh shit, like, buy the freaking mini fridge or the microwave or the TV for this house because we're doing a mural outside and their TV or their fridge broke, and like, whatever, like shit, just like little shit like that, or like helping out getting some stuff for the local community center, electronics or like whatever that is, so just
Amazing.
totally.
Yep. Yep.
So just continuing with the ethos and kind of tradition that we've set, is another super, positive aspect to it. And I think that, for people to be able to be a part of that and know that, yeah, like, we're not like going, like you said, like, bringing water to the desert in Africa, or like saving the, sea turtles per se, but doing really positive stuff for, for humanity.
And it just helped like everyday people. I've paid people rent. I
Yep.
bought them things for their house because their key was getting it full of rust. It's just endless. For El Salvador, we bought pipes, and the whole town had water in December. 80 families or something because their water
Yep.
pipes broke.
Not
So
to mention the
it's and
$95,000 we raised at the La VidConf.
I mean, that was crazy, and then look where it keeps growing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a big one. And I just, this space is so amazing. I can't wait to just keep making more cool shit with the right resources, right? Because we
Yeah.
yeah, just keep learning and building on it. Because with the bricks, it was already a big opportunity, but it was the first bull market. It was too much. So now we're a little bit more settled and we understand. And I've got ledgers for everything is
Nice.
a little
Yeah.
bit more
So how,
definitive.
if somebody wants to get in on this pre-mint tomorrow, how do they go about that? And I'm gonna just share your Twitter here too for anybody that's in the crowd.
I am. I mean, a post like Twitter right now, like allow list. Put your allow list here. Put your put your um. Yeah, it's just me personally. I add each one,
Nice. Okay.
so it would just have to DM me with or I can make a post on Twitter. But if
Yeah.
anybody here wants to get on, I don't know if there's a chat here, but I'm happy to
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
add
In
the.
the live chat, I'll tag you there as well.
Let's see. Yeah, yeah. If anybody want to put their OX, I'll add it right away.
Cool. I threw your Twitter in there, so yeah, if anybody, afterwards, can just hit you up over there with a DM. But yeah, I'd say, yeah, get a tweet out on that where people can, yeah, just drop addies for getting onto that list.
Awesome. There's like 900 people on the list right now.
Nope.
So we've got
Make
some
for a nice little
cool
soft
different
launch.
tools. Yeah.
And
Got
you got
public.
Discord going?
I have to. It's set in the contract. I think it takes you to it from the OpenSea, but I am not logged into it right now because I'm logged into this one. But I gotta figure it out.
Nice. I'm gonna
Um,
see. Let's see if any questions in the chat. I know we just got a few people with us this evening, but let me know if you you got any questions for Laura about this drop that is pre-sailing tomorrow. And so, what's the I mean, I know you were mentioning like some of them are going to be like super rare, depending on maybe like a background and things like that. Do you have kind of the whole like rarity, scaling setup or whatever? I mean, I know it in the early part too, it's like everything is just like, oh yeah, these are like, super rare, 0.1%, but because only a few are minted. But it's interesting, like, it's not super important to me per se, but some people really like to have the like legit rarity stats, but to like, go buy and trade on.
Totally. Of the main characters, let's say there's like these main characters that there's 500 of, around 500, which are like the main ones, because there's like 10 or 12 of them. And then there's like 20, the zombie there's like 80, the TNT, which is like a TNT head, I think there's like 30, there's one that's three that are like super rare that only have like 4 variations. And then since I really like the Mao one, the zombie one, there's a lot of those just the zombie with the shades, with the red shade. Like there's with the mohawk. There's very simple ones that are like I did 1,000, around 1,200 custom tokens.
Ooh. Are those marked
So-
separately or something? Like if you get a custom, you're gonna know? No.
Well, the only way you don't know because it's like
But you would
in
know.
Roomy Cube. Oh, I'd know. I'd be like, "Whoa, I made that," but
Right.
it's
Dude, that's
and it's
trippy.
like maybe because it only has 2 traits, and then most of them, everything,
Right.
most of them, like there's only a couple ones that I erased most of the traits, and I only left 2 traits because I made those. So the 2 traits, the
Right.
3 traits, those are super rare because I set those up. Those are
Okay.
not part of
Yeah.
the gen.
Nice. Nice.
And I think
That's cool.
aesthetically, I'm really hyped to see what people like or what people are like. Fuck, that's dope. And then because people give it, and it's so different. Everything is just completely different. It's and
Yeah.
at some point, maybe 75% of the collection is also in control the algorithm how I expected to control it. But I think that's gonna be really
Right.
interesting because that's
Yeah, for sure. For
collaborating.
sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's like part of the tech end of it is like what the final outcome after all that training and shit, what it really like that end minted one comes out like. Super cool that you made some, like kind of special hand touched ones in there. Man, I almost wish like if they were like, I don't know, 0.00 fucking 3 or something and just mint up a bunch of them for the variety. I'm just gonna have to get a couple and hope I get a fucking cowboy hat.
Thought of I haven't I haven't launched, but that was a question I had, and this is a good moment to ask it. But it's like, is there a too low for a mint price?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say. It's like there's such different angles of coming at it where I don't think necessarily in some ways, because if you could make it too low to where just basically like your first, handful of collectors get a huge end of the market, right? And then they're the whales. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but then a few people can kind of control the price, right? So that wouldn't be positive. So that could be coming from a too low of a price where it's like, what if they're a couple bucks, like, people like a couple people would probably buy, 1,000 of them, and they'd be gone quick, and you'd have a small collector base. But if you could find that price where like your collectors already are able to mint, like instead of minting 1 or 2, mint like 10 or 20, then that gives you like good numbers it's cheap, but they're not like just a couple bucks, you know, they're like, you know, $40 or whatever, $50, or I mean, I don't know what's you know, cheap enough
yeah.
for people to mint up like 5 or 10 of them. So there is, I think, some balance there. You know, it may, and I don't think so. You could have maybe some people look at it and then be like, oh, well, if it's not like, you know, $150 or $200 or something, then I'm not looking at it as much as like fine art. I don't think, you know, you might have a few people thinking that way. I don't think so with most people, at least most people in the space. It's like, man, sometimes you can get like the price tag doesn't equate to the value of the art. Like I saw a great piece today on Spherical Arts show, and it was this guy, and like his style was really cool. It's like black and white little character, and he would have like, he had one that was like you know, making art, and it's like the little guy, and then he brings in like an AI bot, and then it's like more art's being made by like the AI than he can make, and then like humans are gone, and just the AI is still there making art. There was another one that was like someone walking by a piece of art that was for $100, and then they get to a piece of art that's $1 million, and everybody's standing around it, and like the comments are like, oh wow, so deep, like, you know, just because of the price is why they were like, thought that was better. So, you know, there's that kind of cliche, but honestly, I mean, you know, it might be beneficial to price it, you know, way lower, and have people just get more units, have more maybe trading going on. Like even, I mean, you know, people trading between like, oh, I'll swap you this one for that one, as well as more just being minted, number wise. But it's a different approach to, you know, than
I
kind
mean,
of
I think
aiming
that
more for like one or two people, well, maybe, you know, one or two, and unless, you know, you got big bags and you're a big fan, then you mint up a dozen. But
I took it down. I've been taking it down and taking it down. So, you know, it's under $100, and I was thinking $75 is like a good price for a piece of art.
that really is.
And I don't want to make it like less than a T-shirt, you know. But
No,
but
no.
yeah, there it is. But I think it's at the set price. It's there. It's
Yeah.
point oh two point.
Yeah, so it's $75 for you know, the amount of time, thought, effort, like just, you know, collaborating with other people around this. Like it's, you know, I think that's a super fair price. You know,
Oh, I
you could
forgot to
probably,
say. I forgot. Finish.
I was gonna say, you could probably, you know, if you wanted to, you could probably drop it down to 50, and maybe that would kick some of the people over from buying, you know, one or two to getting a small handful or something, but probably not gonna like, you know, move mountains by dropping it down, something like that. And yeah, I mean, I think I haven't even, having been sick for like the last week and a half, I haven't even hardly checked markets and like, you know, done any price equating, and I wasn't even, I was like 0.02, what is that, like $150 or something? But yeah, no, half what I was
I mean, there's like 100. I don't know what number, but there's a number of Plaga collaborations. He did a little bugger.
thinking. Ooh, nice, dope.
That will be like a cool trait
That's
called
awesome.
Rufo.
Hells yeah. I don't
RUFO.
know,
Yeah.
my internet I think was
Yep.
acting a little funny. It's good now. Dope, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yes, super excited to see some of these out in the wild.
Appreciate you having me and talking about it. It's really cool.
Oh yeah,
Today I
dude.
deployed the contract, so I was like, boom, that's like it's like
Yeah, when I got your message that you deployed, I was like, oh hell yeah, like this has been a fucking long time coming, and super stoked to have you, you know, come in, going live with it here on Easy Corner. It's definitely feels full circle. I'm stoked. Uh We got some
Hell
people
yeah.
chiming in on the chat. Louis said he met you in NYC State Park with Nate Alex. That shit was wild. Jose has been having a great week so far. We'll get him up on stage here, I think, in a minute. Sounds like he might be getting ready to do some travels and got his passport, which is super awesome. Yeah, dude, this is rad. Just big congratulations. It must feel really good to have that contract fucking boom set. Because yeah, I know that, and it has been like you've gotten close a few times. But like you said, either like the timing of both markets and just like life wasn't quite right. I think that's for a reason. It gave you more time to dial things in, and it's looking really awesome. So yeah, we'll start getting, once you get some mints flowing in, we'll get the word out for sure.
You, thanks for having me. This is dope. Easy's Corner live.
Hell
Direct.
yeah,
Sick.
live and direct. All right, I'm gonna invite Jose up. See how he's doing, and he might have questions or input for you, and then we'll probably get some tunes
Oh, hell
going.
yeah.
Hey, let me go set up here. I just walked the dog and I joined at like half of the space. Nice to meet you, Masna. Masna on actually Venezuelan slang, Masna, it would mean like más nada, like más nada, like nothing
Yeah,
more.
that's what it is.
Oh, it's what it is. But that's super Venezuelan. That has something to in common with Venezuelan slang by chance, or how did that develop?
Latin American, Puerto Rican, Colombian. Colombian.
Okay. Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, my other chance was that was like like from like masna, like a complete word from another country or so. Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, man. Placer.
You guys not met? Damn, I thought for sure by now I would have had you guys in the same space together. But yeah, Jose Loro here is the one that spearheaded the whole key to crypto when we used to go traveling around onboarding, graffiti artists and musicians and all sorts of people into Web3 down in Colombia and El Salvador, Mexico,
Oh,
all that. Yeah.
so amazing. So yeah, somehow we were surfing the same wave, but we weren't like aware of each other. That's so great, and that
Yeah.
inspires so much what have been the journey with Easy here. Like, I live in Venezuela, so that was inspiration for me to say like, oh, we should do onboarding on Venezuela and visualizing, to get Easy and the community here, connecting with the community, like doing something like what you guys did back in the day. And yeah, that's one of the inspirations and common like discussions when we have an opportunity to see if we got some funding or some idea, whatever, to see if we can get some of that like rolling over. Let me go set up my guitar and stuff.
Yeah, get set up. Yeah, we've been talking about for a couple years. We've been talking about like basically trying to get a little key to crypto Venezuela action happening. Jose does amazing work down there onboarding musicians, and like he recently onboarded a studio where he's been starting to record with some of them and getting them, their kind of Web3 wallets and getting them splits on the songs that he records there, and just like I mean, he's been onboarding down there for years, but making some great moves recently with like
Oh,
some
yeah.
very successful onboarding and stuff. But yeah, so he said he just got his passport, his Venezuelan one, and we've been trying to either get him up here to like Jack's Jazz or some of the bigger events that happen, Rizzle Fest or something like that. We've been talking about that for a long time too, as well as getting kind of a token smart like key to crypto style contingent to do something and go visit down there too.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely some cool stuff to cook up.
Hell yeah. That's the move.
Frankie
Venezuela,
Needles,
Colombia is country. It's dope. Um, yeah, man. It's It's fun to put the fun in NFTs again for a little bit. I'm excited to see how people react to have the pre-minting. We don't know what the I can't control how that's gonna go, but I'm excited to see
Yeah,
how
yeah.
people react to that.
Um, do you have any like tentative other spaces or anything like that lined up, or not yet? Probably just launch something in the next couple days.
I thought I'd just open up a like I ask me anything space tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, cool, nice, nice.
Music, hang out. I'm at home.
Dope.
I'm just gonna once I launch and it's open, I'll just have I'll just have the space and talk to people and told my chat on Twitter. I was doing that at the moment, but I just
About to
wheels.
about to about to
Yeah.
get started on that front. Yeah, you've been working on all the freaking back end, making sure it's gonna work, like
What
logistically
do you
and shit.
regarding the pre-reveal? When do you think is a good time to reveal?
That's a great question. I hadn't even thought unnecessarily if it was going to be something where you would mint and get revealed at that moment, or if you're going to wait to do reveals. So yeah, what's your plan right now? What are you thinking?
Right now, I have a pre-reveal little animation, and I wanted to do the pre-sale and just to launch it when the like a little bit after the public goes live.
Okay, that works. Yeah, I think as long as you're not waiting like I don't know, a month or something before going public. Uh, if it's going to be like a few weeks of pre-sale or something and then go public, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily want to make people wait too long for to see what they got. um uh yeah, it's always that's a little bit of a tough one. How long do you wait after the public starts before you start revealing? Do you have an idea kind of how long you want to run the pre-sale?
It's just 48 hours, 2 days.
Oh, just 48 hours. Shit. Okay. Well, yeah, then you gotta get the word out there. Then yeah, then you can give it a little bit of time. Because sometimes it's like pre-sale might go for a couple of weeks. So like if it was gonna be something like that, that's what I was more contemplating. But if it's just 2 day pre-sale, then let the regular sale open and run for at least a few days. Um, maybe give it like a week, so then people aren't
Oh, really?
waiting.
Like a whole week?
I mean, I would say
I
it
just
it
thought
I would say at most, but
24
if you
hours.
yeah, like if you want to try and if you're trying to wait to get like your sales numbers up a little before reveal or something, then I would say, a week is like the
Mm.
most I would want people to wait. But yeah, if you're doing a 2 day pre-sale and then like start reveal, yeah, 24, 48 hours after that.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think it depends on the strategy you can have in those 48 hours to keep the mouth to mouth happening. If you are verified on Twitter, maybe it's less effort. But in my case, doing a call to action with a deadline, it means to make different Twitter spaces, setting up a special show with Easy, knocking the door on Fridays with K Mayfield, on Lat City, and different across the spaces, to knock the door presently and doing the call to action actively. Depends on that. In the strategy, you have to promote the selling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm.
So yeah, like that's yeah, you kind of want to like hit the ground moving if you're gonna have like a short window of like, okay, we got this quick pre-sale and then a day or two at most before reveal. Or then if not, you might as well like you reveal not necessarily like instantly, but like you know, and if you're doing them, you know, manually or something, then you're like, yeah, they reveal like 24 hours after you purchase. So then if people bought day one of the pre-sale, their reveal would be 24 hours later. They can see what they got, maybe put it up for sale super high or something and buy another if they think they got one super special, or if they're like, oh, that's not quite my vibe, I'm going to put it up around cost and go buy another that's you know, that I'll find out about 24 hours after that. So it's definitely like lots of
Yeah, no,
different
it's
ways to
smart.
look at it.
I think it depends also on time zones. Depending on the time zone of the public you are targeting to, you know, to have spaces in those times. I'm thinking like right now people are working, they are in their local, they are on vacations. It's a conference happening right now. People is online, offline. What are the best days for the
Yeah,
crypto
yeah, yeah.
spaces for promotion?
Mm, yeah. Yeah, that's why I think I'm just kind of taking it like I'm taking it as CryptoPunks as I can and just let it ride. And then you know, and let it. If the pre-sale people who got in the pre-sale cheap, it's not gonna be that much more expensive on the after. So it's if it moves, it moves. It's gonna go from 75 to 120 or something. So so it's if it gets the hype, you know, I'm kind of because I need to do the knocking on doors, but yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a I
Yeah.
rather I don't know. It's a
Well,
that's the
what? Let's see, because it's Monday. Let's see. Trying to think of a couple of the other spaces. You know, that you can maybe jump into and let people know. I mean,
but I would.
record shop, Abel's down in the audience. Is theirs, is that Tuesday or Friday? I'm all my, like, from missing like the last couple
I
weeks,
don't know
not being on my regular
how
schedule. Forgetting.
I don't know if
It's
it's
good. It's good.
aligned
It's good.
easy, but maybe Vagabond on Tuesdays. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean that definitely, I think they would be super intrigued and maybe even want to do maybe get a little write up in Vagabond magazine.
Yeah,
They featured the
that can
wall.
be space.
Yeah.
The Vagabond magazine affiliated with
Yeah, they
Page
covered
DAO.
it.
Yeah, they covered the
Oh,
wall.
there
Um,
there's an artist, Gary Cartledge, something like that,
yeah, Gary
and
Cartilage, he's been on the show.
he has a magazine. He has a magazine that he just bring out like a week ago.
Oh,
So
cool.
can be nice to knock the door on him because he is looking for people that has projects to promote.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good door to knock. Let me see if I can find
He,
his Twitter.
he's a great dude. He's been on the show. Had a tough year, like, I don't know, made a little money in the years past, and then
Troy
like
Fitzpatrick.
yeah, the taxes were gonna like kick
Yeah.
him out of a whole country and shit.
So
It was rough.
here's
But
his Twitter, and here's the um, magazine he's running. I don't know. Maybe can be a
what
good
do you think?
Thank you.
What do you
interesting
think,
stuff.
Lauro? Of maybe is everything set? Like you're set on the 24 or the 48-hour pre-sale, or because it might be better to extend the pre-sale, like give you know, give uh like a week from today, and then next Monday have it switch to the public price and everything, and then it reveals, you know, like the day after it goes public. Uh, so people that buy
Yeah, I
like
can do that.
tomorrow, people that buy say tomorrow on the first day, a week at the most before they see their reveal. I mean, or you could do something like a, you know, the timed reveal release thing where people start seeing earlier.
No, but
Um,
I can't do that. I have to
that's
update all the
complicated.
meta at that
Yeah,
point.
right. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I would say is have it go public like next Monday. Tomorrow, start hitting doors and Twitter Spaces and stuff like that. Get the word out and a little build of the old FOMO juices for like you know, for the rest of this week, and then people won't be bummed because they didn't happen to hear about it because there wasn't a lead up and just a couple days of pre-sale, then you've got like, homies that maybe missed the chance to get it at the homie price. So yeah, I think that might be the way to go.
I love it. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, word. Nice. That's what it's all about. Yeah, Fridays is record shop. So that would be a good one to hit, I think. And yeah, maybe even hop in with Kane or something if he doesn't have Augusta on public school. But yeah, and I'll think about more. And yeah, the Tuesday is the Vagabond Magazine and Page Dow space. Trying to think of some that draw a little bit bigger crowds. But I mean, even just jumping in, maybe we'll find something, look for something with some of the trash peeps or something if there's a little shindig
I
going
just
down.
thought if you like to engage with the Spanish audience, there's a Música Web 3 community, and they run weekly spaces where I saw English community coming over, and I saw other projects being shared besides music. So, and there's different collectors and people around the ecosystem that might be interested that are not necessarily musicians on those spaces. Maybe that's a good place to share the information.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
Let me go
I'm
grab
ready.
the Twitter.
Escribiendo. Sorry.
Sorry.
No, que te estoy escribiendo. I'm writing to you right now a little.
Cool.
Um, to be in touch. Awesome, man. Thank you. I love all these ideas. Appreciate it. And connections.
Nice. Ooh, dude. Just thought too, which could be really cool. And it actually I was trying to think of a connection to what these were reminding me of, and actually it's a Coldy. Um, Coldy did his little like kind of like flat VRM avatar guys. So they're like, they're like super, they're not like 3D. I mean, they're, 3D, but they're like flattened almost. And he's got like, the different kind of like, it is some collage type work. And he did those, not the analyze, what is it? But that async drop, and then the culmination of that was those little VRMs. So it could be something really dope to take these somehow maybe convert them to like a VRM that you could kind of take in world at some point in future too.
Yeah. No, I've seen Coldy's work obviously because
Yeah. But it just
what I
clicked
was
for me. I was
doing.
like, oh shit, that's one.
Yep.
There's one like there's a couple other kind of like I'm like just little threads or like, oh yeah, this kind of and I mean fuck to be able to say like, oh, this has a little Coldy vibe to it. No, what better compliment really could I think of? I mean, and that's just natural what it like, happened to my
Appreciate
head.
it. No, Coldy. I've given him the stickers and he's seen it
Nice.
and I have to DM
Dope.
him and let him know and shit. But yeah, that's
Cool. But yeah, like yeah, you having Coldy retweet that the pre-sale drop is live and a few peeps like that will actually be definitely super solid,
dope. I gotta get on that. My networking.
That's what I'd say that, little networking this evening and tomorrow, and then do your little chill hangout spaces, and just hang out for the day. Those people jump in talking about it, and then, get Coldy and, Rob Ness and a couple of the homies to just give the project drop a little retweet.
Do that. Yeah.
Uh,
Hey, Jose.
How it's going, guys?
nice
Let
to
me
see
go
ya.
show the guitar a little bit more.
The camera
Yo tengo,
bounced
¿cómo
back
están?
by
Buenas
itself.
noches.
Buenas noches.
Yeah, we had new pair of headphones, and now
Ooh, que
they both
bueno.
sound I don't know if you remember, but I was
Yeah.
mixing everything with just one ear. Yeah, now we are ready to go. The sound is pretty great.
Nice.
I'm down to share some tunes, guys. I don't want to
Great.
interrupt you, of course. I just think that maybe some music we can get you thinking on more ideas about this.
Yeah,
I just joined
because
so late that I don't know what we are promoting. You know, I started sharing ideas. But if you can send me a link, Mahna, to check it out, down to check it out.
I mean, it's not even really public yet. But he
Mm,
shared some images. He was screen sharing some of
okay.
so, he's been collecting magazines forever and stuff, and he's used
Mm,
like collage and graffiti aspects to put together these
mm,
very artistic kind of PFP-ish art pieces. I mean, they look just freaking stunning. It's really
Yeah.
and it's taking some of the like assets that are always virtual that we know of, the cigarette and the 3D glasses and the cowboy hat, but it's taking them from a context of like vintage art kind of and bringing them in a really cool way. Uh,
Let's see.
Masna was warned because he posted the link. Easy, maybe
oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he
yeah.
can he
Um,
can send it
He
to
sent it
you.
to you private.
yeah, send it to me and then I'll put it in. But yeah, he screen shared some sneak peeks of some images earlier that were amazing. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm looking for the chat. Please see.
Great. Well, I'm going to kickstart the songs.
Oh,
Ba-da-da-da, 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 ba-ba-da, ba-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, A los días grises se les vive con el alma. Es innegable esta herida que se abre en tu pantalla. Ay, 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 ay. Vivir los matices es la regla en la palabra. Imposible que la vida sepa amarga en la nevada. Ay, 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 ay. A los días buenos los aprecio mientras duren. Pido siempre fortaleza para que eso no me nuble y tenga que sentirme mal para poder entender que soy causa y efecto del dolor. Sí, que soy causa y efecto del dolor. Ouch, que soy causa y efecto. Vivo pleno porque sé que muero cada día cuando la noche acontece y así perder la agonía y cada día renovado fortalecerá mi vista. Me siento genial con eso, sabiendo que todavía tengo música en la boca para pasar la chumita que me tiene siendo dentro todo lo que no veía. Una cúpula por donde se proyecta la armonía, un sistema de la tierra que disipa la entropía, unas cuerdas de guitarra que meditan de la vida, permitiendo el desenlace de la confusión finita, y así no tengas que sentirte mal a la hora de entender que eres causa y efecto del dolor. Sí, que eres causa y efecto del dolor. Ouch, que eres causa y efecto. Happy to share some music on Monday, guys.
Later.
Great to have
Mucho
the
cariño.
vibes.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
I just had a great opportunity thanks to you guys and the overall Giveth quadratic funding round, and I have been able to move a lot of things in my physical world. We have been able to move a lot of things. More updates to come. So far, I shared what we did with the funding for the sending some funding to the Amazon community, and uh, the Shaman Rufino and some of their community members. They are right now in the city from the Amazonas state of Venezuela to Caracas, where we are. And we had a meeting where we talked more about Giveth, and they are super interested into joining. Actually, some alpha for you
Wow.
guys. We are going to be creating their Giveth project before the 18th of this month, so they can participate in the Earth Quadratic Funding round, where they have $20,000 for region
That's
impact
great.
projects. Yeah, so I have been talking with them about how the overall project can look, and like closing like closing the gap between having that material, like the confidence to register, like a lot of
Yeah.
barriers that they are just personalized barriers for each project, right? And it has been super nerdful week and a busy one with creating two new musical pieces I have to share with you guys.
Awesome.
I'm going to be working on a strategy before, so I can like promote it. Maybe one of these pieces I'm going to be selling them in collaboration with Música Web 3. I'm considering that. I will be, which means I will
Interesting.
be minting along with other musicians that they are getting monthly gathered to make a monthly mint together.
Sounds like
So
it could be cool.
yeah, I want to know more about it and check if they have information I can read and so. But
Yeah, there's been stuff in the past. Like I remember Mai was part of some of the early, like, kind of post Bandcamp, but pre, or I don't know, that just there was some stuff that went down that wasn't very cool with like the musicians getting a much smaller part than like the kind of organizers. And as long as the splits are all good and it's the musicians getting that money for the creativity, then I'm all for it.
yeah, and what else I can share with you guys? Well, I'm just super excited about this new week, considering getting the community with a quadratic funding project, which means that we successfully onboarded the Watuha community from the Amazonas
It's huge.
rainforest, and that's so huge. We already had some impact on them. Actually, I was able to talk
Not,
with them easy. If you
not,
check the updates, sorry, go
dude.
on.
Oh no, I was just gonna say not only like to be onboarding the Watuha community from the Amazon into kind of like the periphery of just Web3 crypto, but to actually be getting into quadratic funding, which is like one of the most maybe powerful tools of it. And like,
Yeah.
this is a pretty quick step from like, oh, we do these NFTs and Web3 benefit concert and to boom to like freaking
Boom.
quadratic funding. I was thinking the other day, like, I don't know, somehow there's got to be a miracle within quadratic funding to help fund dental work because like it's just so
Yes.
like the healthcare, and especially if you have dental issues and you're trying to get like your teeth fixed in the United States, it'll put you in debt for like years. I mean, just to
Yeah.
get a couple teeth
Actually,
fixed. So
sorry to interrupt you, but I heard that people come over here to do the work, because here I don't know the cost easy, but I know they are for sure less expensive than in the states. I
Super.
like the
oh yeah.
healthcare works different. The healthcare works different. I don't know how it works here. It just happens sometimes, but that doesn't mean they don't have like a standard and that they are professionals. It's up to you to
Right.
look for the people, and there's
Yeah.
people that are professionals that find the supplies and that have everything and the full space, and it will cost you less than in the states because of how everything is structured.
Oh yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And yeah, that can be a thing.
My
got something?
friends, I think off. I got my little seed calling me, and I gotta answer the phone. But I love you guys. Thanks so much for having me.
Woo!
Jose, un
Much
placer.
love,
Felons,
bro.
Adigua.
G88. Thanks for hanging out and hearing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. Peace, bro. We'll talk soon.
Yep. Peace. Thanks, y'all.
See ya.
See ya.
uh, yeah, I'm so happy to see Felons here. I don't know if he can like
Yeah.
chat with us today and see Tristly. I would love to hang out with you guys, telling more, like sharing more about maybe I don't know whatever you want.
Well,
In my case,
I
yeah,
missed so much too. I almost missed like the last 2 weeks. So I feel like I'm super out of it, both on the like markets and NFTs. And there's like
yeah,
all these new tokens. There's like Mother and like the kitty guys back again and like GME. I don't know. I mean, I don't really get into that stuff like with my
yeah,
finances, but I like to know about it at least. Like there's just so much going on
of course,
that like whew, it's crazy. Yeah. But
yeah,
yeah, glad
yeah.
to be here.
At least to study, right? And in my
Yeah.
case, I'm so happy that you are here and you are good and you are
Thank
healthy.
you,
And I
bro.
know it maybe
Yeah.
it's mess and maybe you are in the middle of a journey through that stuff. But I think that it's good for you to report it. Maybe for us to find creative ways to get that thing done. I don't know. It's up to us. And um, what I think is that I also get loose into the market, and I think that's good too because I'm getting untuned, like switching from online to local, which is what I want to do with this stuff. So I don't know the outcome of all of this. I just feel really happy, and I'm trying to study as much as I can. Actually, I started studying some code, super little.
Nice.
Actually, I just connected to a page that I sent you guys before, the Odin project, and looks like they teach code from zero. Looks like you can invest around 2 years and you can will be able to learn how to have a full portfolio to work as a coder. I don't know if that is my goal, but I will for sure like maybe study that for three
Well,
years or so. Try,
it's
to do it.
it's really cool, even if it didn't wind up being part of your work, to have a deeper understanding of it. Because I also think that unless you're a natural at coding in this day and age, with the AI helping to code and with the no code solutions for artists, I think that unless you like it's your thing and you're a natural coder, like probably shouldn't try to have that be your main focus, like like I would love to be able to also spend a little time. I know it's not like I'm not a natural at it, I've tried in the past, but I'd like to actually study some more just to understand it better than to actually code stuff per se, but that's
Yeah,
great. And I've
yeah.
seen
I have the
people
commitment. I have the
like
commitment to maybe
Dylan.
study 1 hour a day, and maybe if you are interested, for me to keep that consistency, and if you want to, learn the basics as I'm doing, we can have 45 minutes of, summarize of what are the fundamental concepts, which is what I'm getting into, and just try to get some slang and conversation around it, which is actually what they
Yeah,
want to develop at the beginning is vocabulary. Before starting to
right.
go into coding, you have to learn like
Totally.
the slang and how do they talk, and maybe the context, like a chronological setup of how the languages were created and how we are
Hmm.
right now, and what do you need, and from which like route do you want to go, because you don't need to learn everything. So what they want to
Right.
show through this project is not to teach you to um, learn Solidity or Python. It's about helping you to learn any language you want. Like if you don't know how to do it after you end their project, they say that like you actually didn't get like the full picture. It's a pretty great project. I'm going to reshare it here and check
Cool.
it out.
And I did share the link in the live chat to the Nosphere Masna's site, so people can check that out too after the show or something. But yeah, some pretty cool stuff going on.
Sorry, I have to attend a call really quick.
No worries. Quick work call. Yeah, I'm excited for this drop from Lauro.
No doubt. I mean, what a story, really. And clearly, I can totally relate to the excavation of work and delay of work. So, what a what a way to go. I mean, this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
pretty good timing.
I think so. I do believe so.
Yeah, I admit I am struggling coming out of NFT NYC having, and I already told you, but having not made the mint the night of the show, so to speak,
Right.
for top down, it's kind of just fallen flat. And it's interesting to observe. And I've gotten to the point where there's going to be a time for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to
I
be now.
was I was about to say, there's like it's such great like product that you've created, and you have like fans and support out there, that I was going to say I think it's just, when the time is right, I think it's people appreciate and like and value it. It's just maybe like tough, definitely when the drop happened was really tough market conditions, and it's just kind of, people got to get like comfy and liquid, and like when people are all buying NFTs and like, oh shit, things are back. What did I miss? Like, yeah, there'll be a moment for it for sure.
Yeah, I think the strategy, and I'm just put my headphones again back, like when you were saying like, oh, if you didn't sell, like, and my advice to that issue is knocking the door every day. Like, you don't know the effect it has to renew your mind every time that you knock a door. Like, because that have been my challenge these last 2 months, being annoying. It's something that I have been telling you guys, like, okay, I am not verified on Twitter, I'm not seen, I need to be seen, so I
Yeah,
need to be vocal, and I need to be vocal. Like, if I have to create my own sound wave. The frequency, it has to be really high for me in order to catch some sales in some of
yeah,
those
yeah,
peaks. If I only do one, two, three in the first month, only three opportunities. If I do 300 in 2 months, it means 300 opportunities. So
totally.
I play like that because of how I can invest my time in this moment of my life. I know
Yep.
it like for sure. But I think that is like setting something. Like, what I want to aim through that is like we can all connect our marketing strategies. Like, I'm down for my community to buy pieces of Felons. Like, I would love that to happen. And I would love that to happen organically, but it's not gonna happen. I have to make a strategy with Felons so we can both uh, make a wave together. And
Totally.
that's how that wave, we can call it marketing if you feel comfy with that, and we can call it or storytelling, but you have to do it. And I've saw many Spanish musicians from Spain doing this kind of independent strategies, and they have been able to, you know create an awareness of their music to the new generations that doesn't require them to pass through Spotify or anything but concerts. So what if we saw crypto and we agree that it's a no physical nation, and we participate in the traditions and carnivals of this nation, and if they are not there, what if we create these carnivals and traditions, like our Monday on Token Smart? This
Yeah.
is something like we do to
Yep.
refresh, to do some things, maybe something. Bitcoin pizza day, that's another. So, you know maybe it's too early to talk about it, but we can do community stuff like Rizzlefest, for example. All these places are opportunities for us to connect. So we have to know that in the long haul, we are promoting not only the NFT we think we are promoting, but we are promoting each other, and we are promoting all our career. So, you know, to me,
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like, oh no, I'm not having succeed on this, but then Walshy appears here and he likes the song, he bought it. and it's because I was singing, and that day we had a great talk going on, and so how I can get the
It's like
most
from
open calls, you know, how I can get the
yeah.
most open
Well,
calls.
if we merge and collaborate on those, like you say, the surf the marketing wave together, then yeah, I think it definitely is going to have a compound effect than doing it, you
Yes,
doing it alone
yes,
and I doing it alone and
yes,
Felon's doing it alone. Well, when you
yes.
combined all those, then yeah, you're getting, just more breakthrough power.
Yeah, that's why I believe that it can help me to make things efficiently on local, like educating my community. It's like I tell my friends, I'm going to be your training wheels. The idea is for you to be the training wheels of another friend once you are able to. And that is like a compound of synthesis of information. But
Exactly.
we like us, like Música Magnifico, like we can make something. I'm super down to that. And actually, I shared
I mean,
some ideas on the group, right, on my No Winter's Land
yeah,
group about like maybe a Discord channel. I even mentioned the word DAO because I do want somehow something we can do together with the funding that you can feel all part of, because you have been supporting me for so much time, like for real, So I was thinking about like a DAO where part of the funding of each sale of each song, and this will be like a compound interest, and that will be my marketing strategy. How we can focus that money then to do impact, but together, maybe in your local
hmm,
and not mine. Maybe
right,
it's
yeah,
your dental care, easy. I don't know.
right,
Uh,
man, shit, let's
I
do
don't
it.
know.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
do it.
that,
Like,
but I think the point is great. And that yeah, it's definitely something that I think has been kind of in the ethos. So sort of solidifying it um, is a good move. I think the timing for something like that is right. And I don't know, there's got to be
yeah,
like I'm trying to think of there's all these different types of, let's say there's all these different types of corporations, a C corp or a limited liability or nonprofit. um, we got to start like maybe differentiating types of DAOs, because
yeah,
like most of the time they don't work because it's so broad. So we need like a C DAO and a D DAO and a T DAO. Uh, I don't know, like a C DAO, a centralized, decentralized, autonomous organization. Like I don't know, where there is some central authority, so that it's not just always up to the community, but the community kind of votes in the top echelon that can, make certain
yeah,
decisions, or overriding certain decisions is probably more important.
yeah.
So yeah, maybe
That
a SDAO, a special
you
DAO.
remember
That's it.
you remember me
Right.
something interesting, because all this about like DAOs and they are not working great. Like, um, this is an issue that a lot of people working on DAOs has. Like, they make themselves these questions and they feel stuck on some stuff. So I remember an article from a friend. I still didn't read it. Actually, thank you so much, um, for telling me about this, because it's a common discussion on DAOs, like how we can do that. And maybe this is a nice read. This is the Androgynous Organization, or Tao, and so they were looking to do
Mhm.
a Tao. We were talking about frequency. I see sound waves as the Tao, like somehow that energy is going to fluctuate. We cannot like say it's one thing or another because it's dynamic. So this structure is like that, dynamic, and for that they talk about like feminine energy, masculine energy, and archetypes of organization. And from there, they have pretty interesting concepts. I'm not saying that this is what we want. I'm saying maybe this is an interesting read. I want to read it myself. And I see Felons with his camera and saying hello to him, wishing him a happy weekend, a happy week, week start.
Absolutely. Happy Monday.
Yeah, so in the same concept of ideas, yeah, this is like I would love to do. No, I don't know if it's a DAO, like because I don't want this to take me too much time, but I want this to take something creative, interesting. We can all get involved. Like we are already doing it. I just want it like to be more visible for the people that are not into our vibe. You know, I think that's the word. So in terms of like DAO and like safety for the Amazon project, I'm going to help to crowdfund for them, and so I was thinking on setting up a wallet, a multi-sig wallet. So because the community wants me to take care of all the management of their treasury and the fundings. So I'm super open to do that, but
Yeah.
I want them to be in control. So the
Right.
first thing I want to do is that wallet where the funding from the Amazon is going to channel fundings, right? I want
Yeah.
to set up a multi-sig wallet where I have to confirm, but also a friend from the jungle has to confirm.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
they didn't want that. They didn't want that. They want me to do the stuff because they were
Right.
like, technology is scary. I don't want it. You know, like no,
Well,
no,
so
you do it.
yeah, of course, because yeah, that's new and scary, and they can make a
Yeah.
mistake or this or that. But this is the perfect way because
Yes.
they need your secondary, so they won't make a mistake and send away the funds on accident or something. And it's a way for them to learn, and eventually, that's going to
Yes.
bring them more opportunity instead of you doing it. It's like fishing, teaching someone to fish, or just giving them fish one night.
Of
You know
course.
that old saying.
Yeah.
So
And I like teaching from a place of training wheels. Like my idea of teaching is that you have to be the training wheels of somebody else. So, I want to empower them. So
exactly,
I'm
and
not part of the structure anymore.
the one exactly, and that's the power of kind of a DAO in itself. I think is
Yeah.
that like you start it up and then you hand it off to the community. You don't have to do the work anymore. They can benefit themselves, and then they can teach the next person. So the person that's most comfortable with learning it at first, then they teach their brother or their best friend, and then before you know it, there's 4 people in that community in the Amazon, and then maybe they teach someone in a neighboring community how much it's been helpful, and that person starts, and then you've sprouted, the seeds are sprouted, they're
Yeah,
growing.
that would be
Maybe
beautiful.
if you could
That,
actually do like a class for like multiple people and not just single one person out to start, just so that they
for
can
the
And that
community,
too.
you say?
yeah, in the community
Yeah, they
rather than
want, but the
they
the
do,
thing is that the context, like
Yep.
the community doesn't speak good Spanish.
Yep.
So the community the person I'm connecting is the husband of one of the daughters of the shaman. He is from the city. So I'm
Okay.
teaching him because we don't have the
Yeah,
community gap.
and there
He
would
has
be
a
probably zero technological knowledge pretty much if you're just going with someone
zero,
straight from the
and
community
and
that's
that
never
and
had
that
city
connects with
life.
something that is that we are changing the lifestyle of the community, and that is really complex issue. Like that is like transculturization. It's already happening. It's not like I'm gonna be the bad dude for doing something with technology,
Well,
doing
if
something
it's
good that is bad. It's like
it could
they
be
already are
you,
listening to Bad Bunny on the
right?
jungle. Like music is already
and
there,
and
industry is already there.
it could be you introducing, quote unquote, Western culture through, blockchain and quadratic funding to help, or it could be, them getting introduced to the culture by the asshole gold miners that are illegally, strip
Yeah,
mining the forest next door. So might as
yeah.
well have it
So
be a
Curious,
positive impact.
little
how
by
well
little.
yeah, how well integrated is that the husband of the daughter?
Super
Is
well
he
integrated. He knows the language. He side by side with the shaman. He talked with the shaman and about this project, but the shaman delegate him the responsibility to be one with me doing the stuff. So I
that's
have
great.
he is the blockchain node for me from
Right.
the shaman blockchain, and I have to confirm the information with him, and then he will confirm the information with the shaman, and then the shaman will send me a count rider of what I share with them, and I will change and edit the information to what the shaman sees, and we will reach a middle point between the technical, what they want to share, and the storytelling, and then we will share it. But I do see it super great, and um, um, I think that in the meantime, sometimes they can have like light issues, or I'm super down to help them. So I'm going to have one of the multi-sig wallets. Vanessa is going to have the other one, and Eleazar, that is the friend that is going 1-1 with us, is going to have the third one. Once he knows, he can take the time he wants to teach the community, and and once they do that, we can stop being the training wheels. But in the meantime, we already find like we feel really comfortable with what we shared. I showed them my full give up project. He also was able to share with me, guys, like more deep about how the funding was used from the $100 we sent from the project. And if you see the pictures, they bought tools and they bought food, right? The food was for the workers, but also it was Mother's Day. So they used the food for the mothers and the kids. And that's so amazing because uh, this is something I also have to start saying how to communicate. You have to help me on that, but we have to explain the issues they face, or like the context they have, and for them to be able to feed all the community on the Mother's Day, it's such a great gift that
Yeah,
when I
that
was
that's
able to meet
awesome.
them, when I was able to meet them here in the city, one of the women from the community, actually the wife of this husband, she went to me and she told me that she sent me so much gratitude with so much love, like it was the first time somebody sent a thank you with that much like beautifulness. I cannot explain it. It was just so much gratitude. And she told me, she was the one who told me that they used food for the Mother's Day. That she was so happy that they were able to share with the kids for that day. And what the husband told me is that the machetes and the other tools, they were given to different families. Now, these are for their use, and we are talking about a place where a machete and these tools are super scarce. So we gave them a survival kit for different families around the jungle. But my friend uh, make like try to explain. They don't speak Spanish. Well, what they were able to tell them is that those tools were for them to finish the structure that we are channeling to do, and but that tool is for them too, to use for whatever they want.
Right, right. I mean, so awesome to be having that multifaceted layer of help from this $100. I mean, if this isn't like
Dude,
more than everything Bill Gates has ever done,
what? Dude.
like we need to keep doing this.
They buy some gasoline, the gasoline, and this is something I didn't update in the give because they didn't tell me, because they are learning how to tell me this stuff, because they don't see that as something that they have to communicate. It's like a lot
Super
of,
interesting. Yeah, it's so
yeah.
interesting too. Like, wow.
Yeah, so the gasoline they bought was for the solar panel we sent, like full circle moment. The first time we were there and we installed the solar panel, and now they're also, like, I don't know. I'm just saying like the continuity of the first journey with also this funding we were able to send, and
Totally.
it's pretty complex there. Like I know the community fully moved to the place that we put the solar panel. That's
Great.
to try to say something. Imagine that you have to go 8 to 10 kilometers inside the jungle, and that is the community, and it's a tiny community, and it has the solar panel. And uh, the other day looks like one of the dogs we met when we were there was ate by a tiger, and they already had the solar panel, which was the issue. They didn't want to move there because of the tigers eating stuff.
Oh no.
But now with the light, yeah. So I there's complex situations, and
Yeah.
actually the modern world maybe can help them while we learn about, I don't know, tigers. And I don't know.
Eh,
I just think there's a lot to do actually in the community. There's no like appropriate way to deal with the um
Human waste.
re- with what, with the waste,
Yeah.
human waste. That is the word.
Yeah, well, I don't know if like, depending on
Yeah,
how many people they have to do,
yeah,
there's obviously not like,
yeah.
sewage
They
or
are they are super inside. So their sandals, they are Crocs, right? They got damaged,
Oh
and
yeah.
they have a place to put them where they put the stuff that got damaged, but they don't have a proper system. So I tried to bring my own, like my human waste. I tried to grab it. I tried to rid myself. They were laughing at me like, are you going to take that for you? Oh, take all of that too. And they were like, Wah! Like laughing because before like taking those weights effectively out from the jungle, one of the projects will be to help them to fix the only road that goes to that place, so
Well,
they
yeah,
can get
and
some cars getting there to get those human waste out. But you know what? In the Warpcast community, in the region community, I see a human waste recollection initiative. So I'm talking about that with the Watuha community already.
exactly.
I don't know if we are gonna be on the deadline because the community is here for the 18th. We already have the give that like goal
Right.
is the first one. I don't want to rush, but I want to gather all the resources I can that I can help to integrate here.
But there are other means of processing human waste without carrying it out or taking it out, and
Oh yeah,
it's potential.
composting toilets. That like I can
That's
imagine.
They
right.
have they have like composting toilets. They have like
Uh-huh.
they have a few, but there was one that was broken.
Right.
The other one, it was good, but it was full of animals. It was like, it's the jungle, guys. It's the jungle.
Yeah,
I decided to poop in the woods,
I
as
prefer
far
that too.
sorry,
Usually
I sorry for the honesty, but
Yeah.
it's a jungle.
No,
It's a
but
jungle.
so there's
far away from the water, right?
it is. It's the jungle out there.
Yeah,
Just depends
yeah,
on if it's a swamp.
There's a
yeah. You
lot
have
of
to.
different types of like a lot of types of like composting toilets and stuff. Some, you use like sawdust or different materials, but the regular maintenance and use, like so that it doesn't get funky or whatever, like even having just the right equipment and stuff for that and the right kind of like upkeep. Like I can imagine in a year from now when there's $1,000 a month that's starting to come in, like how much improvement
Oh, dude,
could be there
with the
for them.
hundred
And like I
bucks, I
mean,
got so impressed. Like, I
yeah,
got into context. Like, the shaman is right now here, and he does the ceremonies for a price. Besides the price, he also does another types of services as a shaman,
right,
and he charged for all of these. For example, like consultancies about your life. He
yep,
used a set of shamanic tools to connect with you, and he, personalized in a personalized way, helps you. So for all of these services, he charged. Sometimes that's the only income the community gets, and
wow,
he sends all that funds for the community. We are talking about maybe, I don't know. I don't want to say a number, guys. I don't want to say a number. I'm going to say 1,000. I'm going to say 1,000, and it's really little number. So sometimes the shaman is the income through the service he does, and he does it. It's not a vacation work. It's not like a work he takes vacations on. Never. It's a
Yeah.
never-ending work till he's like the end of his days. He will be being the shaman of the community, doing what he is his service from. He's being preparing, and with that money he covers food. He covers maybe the infrastructure, but he's not able to push those things forward. So it's great to have this opportunity, because in this way we help them also to visualize the different steps the project can has, and from where to start, how will look like in 2 3 months, and if they actually got the funding, they will do it. And the next step, with it, like in a change of that, we were talking some, and like once things start moving, they can like receive us for like helping us to make all the logistics in a way that maybe we just have to cover our bus tickets and so and we can like help them from the field. One of the upcoming steps is that one of the sons of the shaman asked Vanessa to make a documentary about the woman. Vanessa thought about it, and she is thinking about expanding it, like doing a documentary, right? And
Yeah,
she's
dude,
finding a
dude.
concept.
I already like just 5 minutes ago or so, I was like, if I don't know when, but at some point there's going to be a documentary about this. Who else is the first person in the Amazon to go, raise funds with the blockchain through music and art to, help an Amazonian tribe? And like the fact that, how much that $100 did, that they're getting into the quadratic funding, how much this next one is going to do, the amount of help getting the routes to the wireless. Like this is, it needs to be documented, and there should be a documentary made about this incredible transformational, spiritual, technological journey that we're lucky enough to be a small part of through, you.
Yeah, of course. The idea of this is to make some good stuff out of the technology, and I do think we are making something that I want to see happening more. And we have the opportunity to be an example of that. And I think for all of that, it's good to have a tunnel vision moment, like not to sink to the sides, because
Mhm.
we have something really beautiful going on, and I think this is a stage where I have to go local, like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
about the FOMO you had, Easy. I had it too, and I have to make a ritual to stop caring, because like I have to take my time into this, and from that maybe we will create a new bullish market with a setup in other consciousness, and maybe the
Yep.
emotions on the market will flow differently, and we will make an emotional market that is intelligent, and maybe that's something cool. I don't know. I don't want to talk about economy. I just want to
Uh-huh.
do social impact, and yeah.
I think it's really interesting to be able to communicate the well. I hate to good, but for
Oh,
small
I'm losing you, Felons. I don't know if
okay,
Easy is losing you.
Yeah, a little. Maybe
I
kill
lose you.
camera.
okay, you cannot hear me, no? Yes, no.
I hear you
Very
little, really
low.
little.
Very
Sometimes
low.
I lose. Sometimes I lose some words.
Check, check, check. How about now? Can you hear me better? Is this better? Check, check.
No.
Okay, well, whatever.
Pretty low. That's odd. You were there fine before.
Yeah. Maybe should reboot, because I don't know why. That's
Ooh, that was
not
full
good.
robot.
Hello.
He's gone predator. Wow. Kind of cool.
Kind of cool. What's happening? I feel like in the space. Felons, you don't have a clue how bad you are sounding.
Very interesting. Yeah, I just let him know in the chat that he was sounding super crazy. So he'll probably be back in a second now. I don't want to. I'm making a little noise because I'm
What was
making a
that,
snack.
guys? Like,
That
what
was
was
like
that?
that reminded me of Predator. That was like
Oh,
Predator.
so hot days here in the city.
Yeah, it's getting hot here. Summertime is definitely starting up here in California.
We are in the middle of June, and the Caribbean
Sounds like
gets.
the birds are going kind of crazy. Is it close to? Is it? I guess it's dark there, but I was gonna say it must be sunset or something with the birds chirping like that.
Yeah, those are not the birds, easy. That is a cat. That is
Oh, that's a
having
cat.
that it wants to be fucked, and he's
Oh,
having a crazy moment, and that is my daily that is my daily thing here. But if you see the palms, if you see the palm trees right here,
yeah,
that
yeah.
are the house. That is the house of macaws, and
Oh,
from a
cool.
bird that. Do you see these nests? Those are nests.
Oh, wow.
Check this out. This is from a bird that the name is Konoto, and they have a electroacoustic type of chant.
Cool.
I want to grab
Oh,
this.
wow.
I want to show you this one piece one of my artist friends made. It's an original piece. He does not only a beautiful piece, but a practical one where you can live. Here is like, let's look for the entrance. Actually, I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is, the entrance. It's here above. And then you live
Super cool.
here. And it's a pretty beautiful piece that works with local resources, that teaches you that you can make your house with whatever you have. Actually, what I most like about this specifically nest, I have 3 more, but this one has a full palm like center root. Like, this is a piece of wood. Like, what the
Okay.
fuck? I love them. And
Very cool.
they also, you can find some human fibers like plastic. It's so dope,
Right.
because you notice how do we impact on our environment, and how the nature, it's so like humble that he just adapts to us.
Totally.
Yeah, just wanted to show you, this is amazing. Let me go grab.
Very cool. Very, very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. I've seen kind of that type of nest, but on like a nature show, the kind of trick doorway where like it can like trick snakes and stuff. They like go in the wrong door and you got to go like in and take
Yeah.
the right kind of turn or something to get to the actual babies, and very cool stuff.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's a beautiful beard. I know. I saw a few videos about it. This beard, the woman makes the nest and the male sings in that moment. It's like a
Cool.
ritual, and they have so many beautiful sounds. I told you it's an electroacoustical sound. Let me find a video with their chants. Yeah, I just find a video of one of these beards, and it was a fake video, and the chanting was somebody doing some insults. Mm. I just find some videos of the beard, but not chanting. I would like to find chant of this beard. Oh, so hard to find a video of these um, birds chanting.
Oh, well, and I'm
Here it
interested
is.
now to hear. Okay,
Here it
let's
is.
hear it.
Yeah. Maybe not the most noisy, but they have like electroacoustic sound. They just make a big like room, like reverb, and they have different type of sounds. I'm trying to see if I can find another one. Hmm. Yeah, I don't find too many videos. I think that I'm going to have to record them and make I don't know, como
Make
se
a
dice,
sample.
a library, yeah, a library of natural sounds. I would love to do
Totally.
that.
That would
I
be
like
super cool to
I like
have.
how the music I like how the music went in this journey, but I didn't like, or like not like I didn't like, but I didn't have the opportunity to have other instruments like strings and so, like it's a pretty flat production. Not flat because it sounds flat. Actually, I super love how it the sound. I think you guys were able to check it already. So you might seem easy. I don't know if you were able to check the sounds. I just sent it on the group so you can give a listen
Oh, not yet.
before. Yeah, so I think they are pretty flat, but I didn't have the chance to collab with any other musician on this journey besides Jason, and because of the funding, I we didn't have the chance to send to go grab the bass guitar and the flamenco bots, so we did a minimal type of production. What I thought was that I would love to be in that way, and I don't know how, because I still don't have it defined. But you know, I make a I make a song in my house, a demo. I go to the studio, right? You got a full band piece, or like a professional piece, right? And then I start having the opportunity to see how do I want to make that song of a full product. I don't know if I'm like explaining myself, but like I love the song, for example, of Karma. For example, if you check the video, easy, the sound, Karma, it's really beautiful. But I would love to add a bass. I would love to add a few other instruments. So I don't know if it's fully finished. So I'm having
So
my issues right now
there's a
with all of that.
cool idea I'm having is that, and you could even have, it could even be as like an NFT, but you were saying how you like, you make a song in your house and it's at one level, and then maybe you get into a studio and do a recording, and that's another level. But then there's maybe you want to add an orchestra to that, and that would be the final level. Like, I think you could, maybe if you wanted to for a song, you could like do an even more advanced edition or something, and then either drop that to holders and have that purchasable on its own. Really interesting stuff to develop, and like over time these songs, and deliver even more value.
Yeah, that's I think that's the journey about, and that's something that I would love to do like in group. I think that we are not talking about a band. Like it's something I would like to do with all of you guys because it has like an educative component, and that because it can be like a common ground to start strategizing things between Felons and I. For the moment, like I know I will love to get all my sales going to Felons. I know it. Like, the abundance he receives is the abundance I receive. He's doing art, I'm doing art. That's great for me. So, how do we make of that something? It can have cash flow. Like, let's say Felons, we take 1 day a month to make 4 hours straight of different jammings of 5 minutes each, and then we make a video every Monday on Warpcast and Lens, and we sell it, and we are already selling, and we are already getting followers, and they are not our official NFTs, they are just content, and we have people checking it, and maybe later we connect with another artist that we find on the same like synergy. And I told you, like, this process of being an artist has a moment of pre-production where you have to maybe do the content of a full 3 months in a couple of days, so then you can dedicate your time to distribute it and doing the live shows, right? But um, if we can have some strategies we can do together, it means we have at least 2 retweets secured in a meaningful way, and that does a lot.
Yes, it does. Oh man, that sounds great. And by the way, I was typing away here. I'm just gonna send it anyway. But the intention that I had by going on mic, you can hear me now, right?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
perfectly, Felons.
I of course switched to my phone, and I'll beat my Mac properly after this. But no, what I was going to say is that over the last couple of months already, I've been going, why the hell did I buy all these NFTs from these various projects? And they're kind of like buy to belong type of NFTs. And you know, that money, well, not only are they losing value and they're not managing their project well, but those those funds could go for an entire year's worth of livelihood for these tribes, or even for you, Jose. I mean, just these things that are going through my mind, going, well, where are the priorities in this NFT, well, Web3 world, right? And so I think there is an opportunity for awareness to grow, and I think if I caught the sentiment already from the both of you, it's like re reevaluating what's important in what we do here. And so I just wanted to acknowledge that and share how I feel about things right now.
You have been
I'm
heard, brother.
always happy about hearing you, and like I really like to feel part, and like to be able to also be vocal, because it's not like, because it depends on us, like once because there's no like an example before us, so like how do we make of this something presently that we enjoy, and that also meaning.
Yeah.
For example, the other day I saw the word enthusiasm. The word comes from the root endos theos. Endos, it means inside, and theos, God. So enthusiasm, it means to have God inside. And I think that we have to do things in that way.
Fascinating. Right.
Yeah. So I think that we are not reinventing the wheel. We are just trying to come to the root of the words, because if you go to the roots of the words, humanity already tried to collab as a unity before. That's why words are there, like showing all these beautiful, meaningful. So like, I want, that's why like connecting roots to the wireless. I do think I would love to have like Alexei coming over if I talk about like Greek stuff. He can teach us some things, but I do think it's about like connecting with those meanings and doing something out of that presently, that it's not the example we have in the like cavern myth.
Yeah, and to take what we've learned, and great point, Felons, like, and it wasn't always like, oh, you have to buy this to be cool or something, but a lot of the stuff in the first a couple of years was, oh, you buy in and then you're part of this community and then there's going to be benefits and stuff. Largely they failed on keeping the communities alive and either relevant or fun or interesting, and didn't provide the value that membership supposedly was going to do. But the other thing is, like, you shouldn't have to just buy into a community. I get, like, buying into access of a Discord and these kind of things, like that part of it. But like, we all just became a community because we have similar interests and we get along. So like, that's more important than wasting money on an NFT to be part of some club. But I think that taking all the things we've learned, and like Jose is saying, we don't need to reinvent like the wheel. We just need to take a look at the angles that we approach things from, and try and do that, I don't know, more holistically together. Like start a not a DAO, but a NAO, NAO.
Yeah, not
Non
now.
non
A now.
non-organized way. Not organized.
Now organized way.
Yeah.
Well, I helped Binks coin the non-DAO
Hmm.
for her third planet, right? It's like, I'm building the non-DAO, if you hear her say
Yeah,
that.
exactly. So
And
that's what we need.
Yeah.
We need the non-DAOs.
And I think it really is, I mean, let's face it, what is in real life echoes in, even now as we're well into the NFT realm, the Web3 world, that basically history or human nature repeats itself in whatever area it is, and so the propriety of the work being done is by the individual, right? And so it's kind of an awareness awakening. It's an interesting observation of where things are, and I think there's
Yeah.
right now there, in general, I think it's an awareness and appreciation of other human beings in real life that's happening right now. And whether or not it's for the fact that NFTs in general are ultimately well, it's quiet. And
Yeah.
the bottom line,
3PS.
yeah.
Oh, go give me your bottom line.
Well, the bottom line is that I think what we're seeing right here, right now, is our human nature, our individual human nature, that is showing up, and I think we're, through the shared experience, we're here now, and so I think that's the key in what we're doing here right now in Web3. So, this community,
Yeah.
and it's individual action that ultimately will make the difference in other people's worlds. I mean, sheesh. Anyway,
You
that's
said
it.
the magic word. You said the magic now word like 5 times. So it's NOAO, non-organized autonomous organization. But yes, the non-DAO,
I think-
non-DAO of 3PS is also perfect for kind of some of the situation with Jose, because it's all about the same ethos, and there's music involved. There's the same ethos. There's that cross promotion there, those relationships between the Felons and the Jose and the Easy and the Binks. Like, this is what the consolidated strength, I think is where we're going to have success, versus just a bunch of community people because they hold a token get a say. So yeah, that's why I like the non-DAOs and the DAOs.
Yeah,
DAOs work
I'm
great
just thinking that
certain.
in the non-DAO, I'm just thinking that in the non-DAO, what you can do is like, you know what? I have $1,000, and this is the roadmap, and who wants to be here doing the roadmap with me? Like,
Right.
I think
You can have lots
that
of
can
mini
be something.
non-DAOs.
you have it's the only way. It's the only way, because if not, because this is something it happened. Like, you can have only one people to do the job of everybody, and then the DAO becomes somebody with artificial intelligence. Like, the idea of the DAO is a like design system for human interaction that we can keep into the digital without losing the IA. I don't know, or integrating the IA in togetherness, or
Well, I think
how can
ultimately
that be?
the systems that are being developed can be implemented in ways that are effective for the use, right? And so the DAO
Of
uh,
course.
technology, I think, one of the points I was ultimately looking to make with the fact that your contacts in the tribe, the husband who is both Spanish speaking and tribal speaking, he needs to have there needs to be redundancy there. So somebody needs to be next in line should
Understudied. Yeah,
and
understudied
and
for sure.
and so one of the things, even in my professional experience here, dealing with network technology, there's an extreme issue with not capturing uh, knowledge from people that are leaving a position. And so basically doing knowledge capture at the time of either an exit or along the way is kind of an interesting thing to keep awareness
Well,
of
and this is a
and
reverse.
put it to record, and you could put it into the blockchain if you really want to. But anyway, but it's the knowledge
Fellas,
that
this
needs
is
to be
this is
captured.
this is a new level. This is a new level of English to me. Like, I just felt you talk it. A lot of things I tried to see
Yeah.
in my
Under
head
yeah.
as a 2D vision,
It's
but I wasn't able.
it's like Inception. It's like Inception too, because you've got a very dynamic fractal here, because what we're trying to do is exactly what you're saying, is conserve the knowledge, the ancient knowledge. And to do that, you now have to learn the new knowledge and then back that up with somebody, because if the one person with the new knowledge from the tribe goes and there's no one to continue, it's the same predicament as if the shaman goes and there's nobody that learned that and to be able to share it and continue. So it's this very interesting kind of cycle, I think, that's come up here.
Yeah, and somehow integration, like the word merge, like merge,
Mhm.
merge is like, it's a word that I don't find on Spanish as good as on English. And that's a word where, like, usually people like connects Aquarius era with, not to start talking like spirituality or stuff, but when I connected with that, I was like, oh, Aquarius era, yeah, that this is super hippie and with good vibes and whatever. But then when I connected more like with Aquarius and the energy of Uranus, and how does it moves, like in these times that it's on Aquarius, the word merge have been really like resonating on all of these, because that is the blockchain technology about, and that is like connecting roots to the wireless about, in terms of merge. It's like,
Oh yeah.
it's the nature of the universe, is the, I don't know, but I think that like things happens by chaos, right? So if you can put some attention to it, uh, that can be of good use for the long term. So if all these technologies, if all of this is going to happen, I think it's like great to be able to understand them from the beginning, before they are just as common as Bad Bunny, you know?
Was that a mic drop or
yeah,
I
well,
don't know?
I don't know. I'm just trying to explain that
No,
the technology is
it's
here and that will have an impact on us, and that we can choose, like, yeah, and it's the same for like the community. Like we can connect with a lot of memes and a lot of stuff, and we can give retweets to all those projects. But that is not my brand about, you know. And it's like, to me, when I connect with an NFT project doing a raffle, I only do the ones that easy talks me. For example, that's one of my like filters.
Mhm.
But uh, like, and sometimes I find my own and I send to easy and to you, of course. But it's like, that's not my brand about. Like that, those are not things that I'm deciding. Those are things I'm being part because I'm being part of the trend. But the idea of the Web3 technology when you are streaming is that you have something, you are moving as if you were the industry itself. That's how I see it.
let's just
And
let the
when I
train
say
speak.
when I say
Okay. It's done.
well, I don't know if it was a deep topic. I think we enter into a super rabbit hole of conceptualization and
Oh,
functionality that I really enjoy.
absolutely.
It was
Yeah.
intellectual crack cocaine. That's what they say about Web3. Intellectual crack cocaine. I heard about it a couple of times and I can see it because that's why we have these talks going on. We like to be creative, and what we want is to use that creativity for something positive. Like if we have a garden, we have to know how to create a good terrarium out of our ecosystem, right? So like how we can use these tools to have a positive impact in the place we want. Like that sounds logic to me, and that sounds logic for the distribution of the income of all of this. And maybe it's about sorry, maybe it's about going viral, like together going viral, doing something where people can throw money. Like I saw what you saw, Easy, about the mother token. I didn't dive into that, but that virality is gaining traction on Web3, and to me, Web3 was the point where we were able to split this type of like content that is disposable from content that
Was.
is classic or impactful. So, you know,
Yeah,
this is a
yeah.
moment where the people has to be curators of their own content, and that's the possibility we have. And that's the idea of decentralization. So, you know, it's like more than like we can expect a lot of noise by now of things that we will see a lot of money coming by. You can get a piece of the pie if you want, if you see it early. You already know how it is if you find it early. But what we can do to channel those funds to something, we can show others that they can channel it too. Like
Exactly.
if
Doing
that
something.
if that money represents a movement of energy in the local, if that digital money wants to mean something in the real world and not something you only have in your like crypto bot cells, how you can make something of that it's top of the cake in terms of human creativity.
Well, I mean, that's the vision. Get to that top of the cake level.
Top of the cake level.
Really make a
I would
difference.
love to hear a top of the cake song. I would love to hear a top of the cake song by Felons.
Well, the only thing that I've ever seen on the top of a cake is, of course, a wedding couple uh, on a wedding cake. So on the top of the cake, what? Yeah. Well, icing on the cake is like a very popular term here in the U.S. Have you heard that, Jose? to have icing on the cake? It
What
means
term? Sorry, top of the cake.
no. When there's something special beyond what was expected, it's having something icing on the cake. And icing is the outer layer of a cake that's very sugary, smooth. I don't know if you've heard that word before, but to
like
have
the frosting.
yeah, the frosting on the outside of a cake.
I
So
don't
anyway,
know how it's called on Spanish, but yeah, tasty.
yeah, very tasty. So anyway, we could write a song called "Icing on the Cake." I think that would be interesting. But um, anyway, I'm overthinking
I
it.
think
So
that what we can,
top of the cake.
but I like overthinking. How we can channel that overthinking, that's something that is community driving in the non-DAO, like in the collaborations between artists. Like we doing a collaboration, what can have the most meaning for our mutual community? Like what if we think this not about something of you and I, but something about
Well,
our community?
I think icing on the top of the cake might just be what just been talking about is the icing on the top of the cake is when after all is said and done and all this, magical, imaginary internet money, like Jose said, becomes real on the local level in your community and there's an impact there. That's the icing on the top of the cake. So maybe it's a song that's about a journey of, ups and downs and finally coming full circle, but having some success and like something happens in your real life coming out of the virtual, or maybe, I don't know.
Well, or
Yeah, I
the
like
icing.
that idea.
Yeah, the icing on the cake in this situation is to see another tribesman or tribeswoman be educated enough to start drawing another income for the tribe, just for the fact that you've been educated one, and it breeds, right? That's icing on the cake. That's an example.
True. Yeah.
True.
And so,
Well,
bottom line,
I enjoy it, and I enjoy it, and to me, the meaning that has to me, like the full idea that closes my, yeah, like how do I feel like so aligned with this idea is that to me this means intercultural exchange and ecotourism, and to me that is the way where I can speak about how I can have a here and now where I'm doing music and sharing presently the communication in things that I care the most of every day in a way that I keep me like traveling and moving the energy and connecting more bridges. Like that's where I see the thing happening, and I think this idea is so aligned with that in terms that we are doing a collaboration that is international and that we can, at least in my context, are things that people see is impossible to see happening locally, and I think it opens the eye for people to see in this era, at least maybe because of the speed of things where I am locally, but like it's a time of great opportunity for creatives to connect around the world and meaningfully doing stuff,
Hmm.
not because they want to create content, but because
I
uh,
mean,
there's a connection behind the art, and there's a meaning behind the art that it's
yeah,
organic, but on a certain level it's also universal. Like I think that's how it works.
icing on the top of the cake. Uh, I don't know. It might just be, this is what I see as the icing on the top of the cake. There's about 20 of us token smarties and another extended group of, kind of our extended community of festival goers and stuff that had made it down to Venezuela, to Caracas, to the big concert in a big old venue. And Jose's main main man. He's doing the intros and of course also playing music. And he's up on stage and there's like a couple thousand people, and it's being streamed globally. And we're doing like the first big giant after the last 7 years of work or whatever. Doing like the biggest Web3 music event in Latin America. And yeah, that would be icing on the cake.
That sounds amazing. And you know what? There are
Only
a
like
lot of
3 or 4 more years away.
places in Caracas. There's a lot of places on Caracas and Valencia. When I traveled, guys, the first day I was able to. First, there was a burger like fest happening on
Ooh.
all over Venezuela where they have $5 and $7 burgers. Like they were like
Nice.
super premium. It was like some like tourism stuff, and I think there's like international tourism happening these days here.
Killer.
So,
That's awesome.
so we were able to eat like an orange chicken with blue cheese and like
Ooh.
mushrooms burger.
What?
It
Wow.
was something. It was something
That's crazy.
amazing. And the you know what's crazy? That the place we were, there wasn't light power, man. Where we were there,
That is
there was
crazy,
light
bro.
power.
Yeah.
You know what was
No
crazier?
power.
You know what's crazier? They accept crypto, bro.
Dude, shit. Yeah. So no power. They accept crypto and they're
Ice on
making
the top
freaking
of the
orange
cake.
chicken burgers. That is the icing on the top of the cake exactly right there. So
That is the
dude,
icing on
we're
the top of
we're
the
like
cake.
That is
I think
so
we're like
ridiculous. I love
we're
it.
like
So
halfway there.
ridiculous. That's so yeah.
Yeah, we're like halfway
So
there
I
to having like
we are half. Yes, and it's like it's like with through cryptocurrency there's a lot of things that can be moved. It's something that people are super aware here. All my friends has a Binance, but almost all the business of technology accepts cryptocurrency. And uh, there are other services where you can get cryptocurrency going on. And
there
yeah,
will be
it's
look,
super dope.
there is absolutely without a doubt in my mind bound to be a layer 3 or a token or a platform or something that is going to pay all of the airfares and hotels and everything that we're all going to need for the trip down there when the timing is right, um, to be able to pull something really amazing off, because it's just in the right
Yeah, maybe. Hey,
in the right market
maybe. And I don't know.
sentiment that will happen.
Don't know if this too crazy. I don't know if this too crazy, but maybe that is the treasury of the DAO that I'm doing for.
Yeah,
I don't know. And
totally.
I don't know.
Maybe
Like
we
this
can
is
get
up to
quadratic
us
funding.
somehow.
Maybe we can, yeah, maybe we can get quadratic funding
Yes, that's
towards the
something
seed
interesting.
money
That
for exactly our plan, which we've had for years. You can go back. It's not like this is some
yes.
scam. You can go back and listen to us talk about this 2 years ago, and we've only gotten closer, even though we don't have the funds or anything, but we've been refining and with the way just like I said, it's kind of about timing. But of course, we have to keep planning and getting things more and more dialed in.
Well, clearly you don't need to call out the fact that it's funding travel or anything like that. It's basically
Right.
expanding the community. And so, yeah, it's just going back to every opportunity for funding and grants. There's, of course, Gitcoin itself,
Right.
that has project funding, and that's kind of an interesting thing to look at where clearly the quadratic funding based on projects, especially in the human interest side, is if you're familiar with that saying,
Yeah.
Jose, when you say human interest, it means that it's to the improvement of other humans. And so with that, that's always a very good story and a very good place to get funding. However, in these other organizations like
Yeah.
Gitcoin, those are technology funding grants, right? And so an
What
element
what can
of
be the way? what can be the way to offer to an a flight company to accept crypto for the plane tickets, because we have we have the opportunity to do that, but we still don't find the wording or the mechanism to offer all of that to the flying company, like, hey, give us the thumbs up, we know how to do this, this is what you get. I don't know how to do
You
that, but
know,
Um,
we have somebody we can offer that.
yeah, you're
I,
not going
I,
to find that
I,
near term. The thing to do is just have a mechanism to
Yeah.
convert to fiat for the people that are traveling at the time of traveling.
yeah,
That's
that's doable.
that's really the only way right now, but I'm sure in the next 10 years we'll see it. The US economy is going to be a slow adopter. I can tell you that on the crypto. Who knows? Maybe 5 years.
Unless,
We'll see.
yeah, there's gonna have to be some big shakeups and like a whole turnaround 180 degrees from policy now. But maybe we'll get lucky enough and see that. Maybe the economy on other things will get shaky enough to where they're like, oh, we don't want to lose, and they've already lost so many, geniuses, talented people, just entrepreneurs through saying crypto's bad. We're not going to let you do it here. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, I mean, the way that, we were getting funded through for like crypto stuff, it was like, the like La BitConf, big Bitcoin conference in El Salvador had heard about what we had done in Colombia, and like they're the ones that were like, yeah, we'll fly your whole crew down and like, pay for the art supplies and do all this kind of stuff. So it's like when things are when the market's hot, like it's not difficult to secure that kind of stuff
It's
to be
not
like, hey, yeah, this is what we
it's not
do.
hard,
And
actually, guys. I'm on a Telegram group that is like a closed Telegram group of a project that is planning on coming to Venezuela, to the Angel
oh,
Falls, or to make like a crypto conference or something. I'm not fully aware of how it is. I got involved because when I was sharing my social impact project, I connected with them, but I don't know nothing, and I don't know. I still don't know too much. But the project name is a word from the Watuha community. But that's pretty interesting. But
yeah.
are you? Okay, Vanessa is giving me some context, and the word of that project is not so like merely of the Watuha community. It's an ancient word, period, but not from the Watuha, but from like
Ah,
abroad. Uh, but yeah, or from another community. Yeah, but I'm following that, and what I understand, I'm going to research more on that, guys. But we can do the same.
yeah, yeah.
Ah, Vanessa is giving me the insight. It's a Quechua word that it means family. Okay, now we have the context.
Oh, wow.
But I think we can do the same. I think we can do a project where we get you to the Angel Falls, and I do
Oh,
music,
totally.
and we do music. I don't know how,
Yeah,
but
music
like
along the
doing
way.
something, but
So
yeah,
if
and
you could,
from the Watuha community, and this is something like giving you context from the Watuha community. From there, we can organize trips to go to these places that are the
well,
places from the movies.
yes, but also the Waktah community itself would be, a main feature. So instead of just going and seeing like this waterfall, yeah, you see the waterfall, but you also get to like even cooler meet the shaman and see a little something out of day in their life, and stop at this place for a outdoor pizza concert, and then at this farm the day after the falls we stop and have like, climb up the little mountain and have a, there's just like the not the so you do the tourist thing, the one really big waterfall or famous site,
but then you do like around that, you do like 4 things that you could never do if you were a tourist unless you knew somebody local, like a Jose that even knows, you know, the freaking
Yes.
shamans in the Amazon. So you do the coolest shit is the off the beaten path, the 4 or 5 days around that other one tourist event, which is also cool because it's something, you know, a famous waterfall, whatever. But that would be the pull for the type, I think, of people that we want anyways. They're not the people that usually stay on the beaten path.
Is
In the
this the
what?
bird?
In the what?
The
Kind
beaten
of
path.
people that usually don't stay. What is that?
On the beaten path, the path that's well worn, right? So como en el so people that go off the trail, go off the path on their own, you know, like instead of just staying on the tourist bus and going on the tourist tour, no, instead I rent my own car and I drive out to the smallest village I can find, you know.
How do you say the road less traveled?
Okay,
Menos.
like yeah, like adventurers.
Yeah,
Yep.
just like more interesting, yeah, you know. Let's
Yeah,
see, yeah,
because actually
the
going to the Amazon, like going to that place is pretty adventurous. I love to go
Mhm.
there, and if you know, it's like I can adapt super easily, but
Yeah.
it's something that it's people that are looking to have those experiences on
Mhm.
like getting like for example going to the ceremonies of the grandfather Rufino, or is for people that is having a healing journey, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they want to go to see the shaman and drink their
There
medicine. So but
there's a
besides that,
huge
as you said, there's a whole ecosystem that we can close the gap for people to meet, and there's no ways to meet that in other way for them, as you said,
yep.
like is super special, and I think it's something that those communities needs because
Eventually,
yeah,
eventually there is going to be global, like you have the niche of ecotourism, which used to be quite small and like kind of looked at as like, you know, like hippies or whatever. Now it's very mainstream and it's very lucrative, right? So that took a couple decades for that to happen. There is going to be niche travel for Web3, like crypto travel, and then there'll be the even further niche,
yeah,
like eco-friendly, positive impact Web3 crypto travel. So to be at the very forefront of
yeah,
that
like
means in a
refi.
decade, yeah, like in a decade, you know, this or two, this will be a, you know, multi-billion dollar, whatever. Like, but if we're in the early part of getting people to accept crypto and crypto friendly travel, as well as, you know, like positive social impact, refi, all the goodness, then I think we're on the right track. You know, we would be.
Yeah, and that yeah, and yeah, to me that's so aligned with like having good practices on how do we channel the money. Like I think that is the journey with cryptocurrency about. It's about money with meaning. That is like
Yeah, yeah.
token smart. You know,
And
that's like an
exactly.
analogy from token
And
smart. Is money
that's
with
why
meaning.
I'm
MIMs.
not, yeah, I'm not like worried running around chasing shit coins, getting burnt, losing all my money, is because it's about having token smarts and knowing like what's worth it and what's not, and the ethos of creating value from, you know, nothing, basically from this imaginary virtual token, and building actual value, community, friendship, meaning, positive social change, like all these things, and then also to be able to then extract financial value to pay for the, you know, the day to day and the mandatory financials is where we want to be. Well, shit, that was a good show. That
I
was
have
three
an
hours.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and I'm super happy that you are here, that you feel good. Um, I think we have a lot to
Huh.
talk. I think we can go for more hours, but I would love
Yeah.
to listen to a Felons song. That's what I would love to, and then maybe close the space. I can share another song. I'm super happy with that too. But
Nice.
yeah, it was a great show, and I'm looking forward for the tunes, and we can talk infinitely.
It is true, and I have to defer to you, my friend. Please do close the show out. My dog is looking at me. She's actually circling in a wild
Needs
manner,
to go
saying
somewhere. Yeah.
she needs to go out. So I will
Well, epic show.
stay with
Thanks,
you
guys.
guys.
Sounds
Cool
good.
stuff. I'm super happy with that.
Let's vibe
Thank
it
you
out.
guys. Great show. I vibed a lot. I like our conversations. I think they are leading us to a great mindset. And yeah, wishing you a great week. Keep us posted and see you on the streets of the metaverse. Keep away from
Oh, yeah.
FOMO and hold the vibe.
Peace, love, and whipsy. And if anybody has a guest
love, and
for next
whipsy.
week, let me know.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Check out the text. Check out
Who
the
is?
Oh, cool.
yeah. Okay.
But give us some background.
Yes, sir. Musica Magnifico.